Alright, so welcome back everybody. You're watching Game 2 in the first qualifier grand final for the Gigabyte Masters Tournament. Of course, the winner of this match will earn themselves a spot in a wildcard seat in Group C for the Gigabyte Masters Tournament and will play off for $5,000 in cash as a total prize pool. But this is currently Game 2. ICE are already up 1-0. Unfortunately, a bit of a catastrophe erupted on the HARROSH side. It really did not go well for them that game. They tried with the Ricky Pig, but really, I honestly think... I think the best way to put it is they spent too much time faffing about. Their Leshrac was sort of indecisive.
Yeah, but for me there was two big problems. The Leshrac didn't quite know where to go. He wasted a lot of time. As you said, faffing about, that's one way to put it. And the other big problem was that trialing. Tide, Dazzle, Ricky, very unconventional. And the opposing team, Team Ice, had a much more standard trialing with the Earthshaker Venomancer support. Their trialing had a lot more aggression, a lot more killing power, and their carry was farming a lot more than the Ricky. And it was just a... outlaning as well as the mid lane, the Leshrac, making a few blunders, didn't quite know where to go. And we're going to see some quick bans coming out of both teams here, as nothing too out of the ordinary, except we do see Draken banning out the Shadow Shaman after losing to it that last game, thinking, I've had enough of that.
Well, yeah, he did cause some serious carnage, but I mean, a lot of heroes, like even if you left something like a Storm Spirit there in mid, like for solo for that long, would obviously unleash hell, basically. You can't afford to leave heroes like that alone, unchecked, if you're not doing anything productive elsewhere on the map. Now we've also got, once again, had Invoker banned, Bear being banned. I mean, is it possible that the Asian teams are sort of still sort of worried about him, really worried about him from his sort of his Dota 1 prowess? Because I honestly haven't seen him just really control a game. Like, I know he's excellent in the laning phase. I just feel towards that mid game when the AoEs, when the teams start forcing these team fights in the early mid game, he just doesn't have any sort of presence if he doesn't have that.
Well, the way that these teams play, especially the Chinese teams, they'll have that Radiance up by about 16, 17 minutes. They can get it that they farm that well. They'll put him in a safe lane where he's almost guaranteed to farm, and he is one of the best heroes at farming because you have the Spirit Bear to help you last hit. Literally, their item build will be phase boots into Radiance. They will only get the phase boots on the main hero. They won't get any phase boots on the actual Spirit Bear, because they're not really worried about the Spirit Bear taking damage or needing the movement speed. They're not going for kills, they're just going to get that Radiance up as fast as possible. But it is, I agree, it's not definitely a must-ban hero, but part of it may also come down to the fact that it is a hero that's only just been introduced into Dota 2. Maybe they haven't played against it, and they just don't want to play against it in a grand finals of this qualifier here, and they're just not going to want to risk it, as we do see Draken's team, once again, running with the Shadow Demon Leshrac that was effective in the semi-finals.
Yeah, well, definitely. Leshrac, of course, caused all sorts of hell. Sadly, well, actually, I should point out that the last play down there with the, I believe those are Chinese symbols, Mandarin was playing the Leshrac in the semi-finals, caused all sorts of carnage, carried his team massively. However, in the last match, it was Top there who was playing the Leshrac and really did not have the same level of impact. Now, Shadow Demon has been picked up. Of course, Shadow Demon, with his slow, with his massive damage, and of course, poison. The Shadow Poison is, of course, a big pain in the ass to deal with, is a very, very big threat. But, of course, we've got, once again, Darkseer being picked up. Darkseer, of course, be a really, really popular hero as of late. Super popular. Of course, Tidehunter, once again, very popular support hero. Actually, even doesn't always get to play support. Sometimes gets given the farm, gets given all the monies just so he can man up, sit at the front of a fight, and cause all sorts of hell. And people try and get past him. He basically acts like a bouncer, like security. Just says, no, actually, I'm gonna pop this Ravage, and you're gonna stop right there, and we're gonna kick you out of the pub. Venomancer also being grabbed up, so they've got a fairly big amount of AoE firepower there.
10 seconds.
Yeah, they're stacking that on, but it's not just the AoE firepower. They've got some nice laning as well. I think with these heroes, they're maybe even better off running the Tide as a farm. You could do something with the Tide and Venomancer together. They'll probably run that Darkseer soloing in a side lane, and they could still pick up some kind of solo hero as if they do want to go for something like a Queen of Pain, a Mirana, something that can dish out some damage in the mid game, which they're going to need. And the thing that I'm wondering is who's going to actually play the Leshrac this game. Part of me is hoping it goes back into the hands of that mystery Chinese characters player who is on the fifth slot at the moment for them.
Indeed. And I've just noticed someone's calling out, what is the name of the teams? I have put the team names up there. We've got HARROSH on the Radiant side. They are down one match, and they're up against ICE on the Dire side. Now, ICE are Malaysian, HARROSH are Singaporean, representing their countries there. Now,
you've got that mixed up.
No, I'm pretty sure I called that right. DICE are on the Dire. Or did I call them on the Radiant again?
You called them by their wrong nationality, I think. HARROSH the Singaporeans and ICE are the Malaysians.
I know, my friend. When he goes on Southeast
It's
Asia,
been a long day.
for him, all he does, he plays the Southeast Asia. To him, everybody's Filipino, and he says it in a very, very unfriendly manner. Really, very uncharitable things to say.
Hey man, I'm a big Pinoy fanboy, so not bringing any of that hate onto the cast tonight.
No, actually, I'm looking forward to Dustbin in action. Actually, wait a minute. Is the Dustbin Dota? Are they Pinoy as well, or are they? Okay, now actually, I've got to say the Hon team was fantastic. I love them. They were really awesome to see in motion. So I cannot wait to see their Dota 2 team in action later once we get into the full on tournament. But what have we got next?
I think it's not their fault. I think 3 or maybe 4 of their members from their Hon team came over to the Dota 2 team.
Was Mr. Swish over? Because he's the man to watch.
Okay.
God,
yeah,
he's
playing with them, and they've got also, I think it's 1 or 2 other players. I'm not too familiar with their Hon team, but I remember reading the comments saying, oh, they're missing this and this player. It's not the same team, but it's still Dustbin. There's 4 different Filipino teams that are going to be in the bracket stage. We've got Dreams, as well as Mineski, of course, the big Filipino name, and the last one is going to be MSI-evogt Gaming Team. So back to this game, Earthshaker picked up. As said, they like to pick up these strong laning heroes. We'll see that Earthshaker giving them some nice defensive laning, as well as a good ability to set up some kills. You can pop down the fissure and then back it up with a Leshrac stun. Is a nice little combo, and now come the last few bans. Nothing too out of the ordinary so far.
Indeed. Pretty stoked down. I've seen Anti-Mage banned once again. The question is, are we going to see a Riki? I don't think we'll see another Riki pick, just because it's one of those heroes, like, when it doesn't perform the first time, often you feel a little bit disheartened, or just feel like the other team knows how to counter it really hard. And I'm not sure if they're going to lay the blame there at the Riki. I honestly don't think the Riki was the reason everything fell apart last match. It was just mostly the fact that Rasta got out of control so badly, and they really just didn't have an answer to him. That is my really big feeling there. Because I honestly feel that Riki could have come back into it, like you said, because Riki's got a much better mid-game than Morphling, and once he hits that mid-game, he becomes very difficult to handle, and he becomes very, very powerful.
Yeah, I think that Riki was a nice pick last game, but I think the big problem was having the Tide Dazzle support meant that the Riki wasn't going to get the farm and support he needed early on. Sure, at one point he had the highest CS in the game, but he was also very under-leveled. He didn't hit level 6 until about 15 minutes into the game. And Riki's a hero that actually does need those early levels quite badly, which he didn't get. You don't want to run him in a trial lane where he's sharing the XP constantly. You want to run him up again in a lane where maybe he has some support near him, but those supports need to be creep pulling and giving Riki most of the free farm. As we are going to see, Queen of Pain it is, and that's going to give them their main source of damage, at least for the mid game. They may pick up at some sort of hard carry later on, but I think we may be seeing Tidehunter as a farmer. Queen of Pain could easily run as that solo mid, although they may decide, let's go with that. I mean, Morphling's been banned out this time, so that's not going to be an option here.
I find it interesting that Ice actually did the Morphling map. I mean, because they've used it so consistently, so well during the entire tournament, but this round they just said, you know what, let's get rid of him. Take him out.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, they must have just been off-put by the fact that this Radiant team has so many disables. Because like the semi-final game we saw, where this team HARROSH had the ES, the Shadow Demon. I don't know, they didn't have the ES. They had the Shadow Demon and the Leshrac. They stacked all these disables, and they used that to shut down the Morphling. So they're probably thinking, okay, we're not going to pick up the Morphling because of all these disables. Let's just ban it out, because they didn't want to give it to HARROSH as well. HARROSH going for the Storm Spirit. This is kind of like going back a year or so when we saw a lot of these heroes. The Storm Spirit, the Queen of Pain, these very mobile heroes that can make some aggressive ganking, and finally. It's been a while. It's been banned a few times, but haven't seen it picked up. The Outworld Destroyer, going to see his maiden game in the Gigabyte Dota Masters.
I'm gonna throw it at the guys in the chat. Please, a show of hands for anybody besides Gods who actually calls this sucker Outworld Destroyer. I'm never gonna call it anything but Obsidian Destroyer.
Trust me. Last time I was casting was the Razor. Well, within Outward Destroyer was the Razor Dota 2 tournament, and MUFC picked up this hero. And about 80% of the game, I was calling it Obsidian Destroyer, but I'd try to correct myself just because it is called the Outworld Destroyer, and there's a lot of people who did not play Dota who will think,
whoa,
what is it?
Okay, that to me is an unusual pick. I don't regularly see Clinks at all, so here we go. Let's see how Clinks goes. I don't know, Gods. Obviously he's got a lot of early damage, can put a bit of pressure on towers, but I just feel that when it comes to sort of he's very squishy and a little too easy to counter, in my opinion, and he just doesn't have that firepower during the mid game.
Well, he is squishy and hard to counter. Well, I definitely think he has the firepower. I disagree there, but he is very squishy. and easy to counter with a Sentry Ward or Dust and a couple of disables. But the problem is this Dire team don't have all that many disables. They have a lot of nukes, but I mean they can't just pop a stun and then focus down the Clinks. The only thing they do have is that Tide Ravage, which they can use to focus him down. But if Clinks gets a nice, easy lane, gets some early farm up, sees something like a quick silent stick into BKB, then suddenly he's a great counter to that Obsidian Outworld Destroyer, Obsidian Destroyer, let's just call him an OD maybe, as well as the Queen of Pain. With that silent stick, you can actually take out a lot of these heroes very, very quickly.
It is indeed going to be a very, very dangerous thing to look out for. I'm just doing a little bit of rearranging on this because I just realized I added the team names to the wrong page. So I'm just rearranging everything. Just let me...
All good.
I'm just going to scale in my viewport. I just need to check where the ice name is. I think ice have been... Yeah, okay. Ice have disappeared behind the hero picks. Let me just move them for a second. I know some people can be complaining just about now. I noticed somebody actually pointed out that the hero bar in the middle isn't actually centered for some reason.
You mean where the little clock is?
Yeah, where the clock is and where the heroes, like they're not in the dead center of the screen apparently.
Yeah, now that you mention that, they do look like they're a bit further on the right side.
But yeah, I'm definitely set to see what, like, because I mean, like you said, you know, Obsidian is big in the Southeast Asian scenes. I'm really interested to see how they deal with him, how they play him. In fact, I mean, will we often see, like, say, are they going to max out Banish and his aura, and then maybe get one early level in the magic wand attack thing?
Yeah, that's generally how it's being played. Every now and then you'll see sort of a mix between aura and Arcane Orb. I mean, it's pretty much, it's up in the air. Sometimes you'll only get 2 or 3 in the Astral Imprisonment. You definitely want more than 1 for the laning phase. You want to get at least 2, generally 3. I mean, a lot of the time you'll just see it being maxed out. And then a couple points in the aura at least. It's one of those heroes you just sort of get a bit of everything. He's just a hero who can farm up well, use all his skills well, and it doesn't really matter too much what you go for. Although I think typically it will just be 1 or 2 in the orb and maxing out the prison and the essence aura, which will be, we're actually going to see him going towards that top lane. So this is interesting that he is going to be playing in the safe lane, making sure he can get that easy farm. But I hope we don't see what happened last game. We had the Riki in the safe lane, but the problem was he fell behind on levels, and OD is actually a hero who needs those levels to be effective.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I noticed Inkstorm asked, why did the Dire side get the first ban, first pick in this situation? The first ban, first pick is actually decided. Like, it's not random. It's not just automatically assigned to the Dire. It is literally given. It is assigned. Or it can be set to random, but it is often assigned. I'm not dead sure of the rules for this particular tournament, but yeah, it can be assigned. It's not just naturally that the Dire get it themselves all the time. Just throwing that out there for clarity.
Well, the previous game was was HARROSH on the Dire side, and they had the first pick as well. So they've swapped sides, and this time again Dire side first pick. But it's just coincidence more than anything.
But yeah, just throwing that out. That's just it is definitely not just the Dire always get the first pick. Now, right now, yeah, like you said, the Obsidian, like you said, like, I mean, he's got those 3 skills that he really wants. Of course, Sanity's Eclipse really does a bucket load of damage, especially if you drop on the low end. I'm really looking forward to watching Clinks get that Sanity's Eclipse dropped on top of his head and watch him explode. I think it's going to be hilarious.
I think Clinks should do fairly well in this lane. I mean, he's Rainseer against the melee. The Darkseer, though, has done the smart thing, has picked up a stout shield. That's going to give him the damage block against his Clinks is going to help him out so much. I mean, obviously you want to get that Soul Ring up as fast as possible in Darkseer, but having that stout shield is going to give him a much easier time in lane, and we will see how that lane... I imagine both heroes will just farm fairly well. Neither hero should get any kills. It'll just be a bit of a farm war. Mid lane, Storm against Queen of Pain. This is such an old school matchup, and excited to see just how that goes down. And top lane is the Tri-lane versus Tri-lane, and I mean that could go either way. I think Radiant team have the slightly better Tri-lane, but the Dire team have the creep pool, which can give them a bit of a level advantage.
Indeed. In fact, wait, did they block? No, the Dire have thrown down the Dire have thrown down a counter ward, so if there was a block up there, that's already gone. The Radiant also immediately counter warding the top rune spawn, so maybe they're hoping, in fact, they're probably hoping to sweep in from behind and put some pressure on Queen of Pain if they possibly get the opportunity to do so. Maybe they set up a good kill in mid, or, you know, even if the Dire supports disappear for a bit, although I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to try and stay out of the lane as much as possible, just to try, like you said, Obsidian Destroyer needs those levels, so I feel that they're going to try and give them as much as possible. There it goes, a gank though, the Fisher goes down, Leshrac dropping the split earth, and Bobby, B-Boy, going down there, getting taken out by the mass stuns. And Leshrac actually boxed in a little bit, needs to try and cut his way free, but they will back off successfully. Storm Spirit also getting a quick kill and quick. What happened there? Did you see that?
No, that's one of those things where Storm Spirit's level 2 or something. there's no. I wasn't watching mid lane. There's aggression at top, and Storm Spirit, level 2, level 3, picks up a kill on mid. That just comes down to outplay.
As I think people are calling overlays kind of... they should actually see the overlay fix itself up in a minute or so. So, yes, I realised that I added the team name to the wrong overlay. I was a bit of a dunce. Added to the pick screen instead of the actual game screen. So here we go. I had to actually manually move everything around myself, as you may notice happening in a few seconds. Now, what have we got up here? Invis being picked up there by a Shadow Demon. Is he going to do anything with it though? There is a gank though from the Radiant side, from the Dire side, and this is one of the downsides to putting your supports in the safe lane. In fact, it's a lot harder to gank the mid guy. Although it looks like they're not bothered with the mid. They're actually going, you know what? Let's gank Clinks down the bottom. Which I mean,
no, I think they will swing back to mid lane. They're just going around. It's easier to gank from below.
It's true.
And because they smoke, they're not going to get seen by any observer ward. So this is much easier to do coming from below, which is why they do swing around. And Storm Spirit, this should be a fairly straightforward kill. He's not going to expect them from this direction.
And we've got Queen of Pain jumping in. There's the gush. Going to see a Venomous Gale in a second as well. There it goes. Bursts through them. And he actually brings down Queen of Pain before he goes. This is a great trade. And they might
even... 2 kills, I think.
Oh, it's 2 kills!
Oh, my. That is embarrassing for the Dire team.
Oh, well, HARROSH not off to a fantastic start. Once again, this is...
HARROSH off to a great start. That's their Storm Spirit.
What am I saying? Oh, wait, I just called them... I just thought HARROSH were on the Dire side because these guys are so deep on the Dire side of the jungle. I thought, yeah, this is HARROSH. They're on the Dire side. Not really... Hang on, wait a minute. They're the Radiant players all over the Dire jungle. So no, you're right. HARROSH off to a fantastic start, and Queen of Pain, an embarrassing death. They definitely jumped the gun straight. He must have been really low, or maybe the creep just decided they hated him and tore him a new hole.
Big creep wave on the Radiant side that just was suddenly, as soon as Queen of Pain starts attacking Storm Spirit, those creeps say, "Well, you're not going to do that." Start hitting Queen of Pain, and Queen of Pain under the tower takes too much damage and went down. And bottom lane, we are going to see a gank on Clinks, and Clinks goes down, and that is going to be a slight boost to Team Ice's Team Ice's bottom lane. But I mean, yeah, that gank on mid, that's the team's worst nightmare. You think, okay, 3-man gank on a solo Storm Spirit, easy kill, we walk away, and our solo hero has an advantage. But no, the exact opposite.
Feed him 2 heroes worth, well actually only 1 because he was already dead, but feed him a hero's worth of experience as well as all that extra money. And, you know, on top of it, they also burn their smoke for no good value. Now, at the moment, Obsidian Destroyer, he's really worried. I mean, he's hanging a long way back because he supports a bit. In fact, Tidehunter I don't know if you should be pulling that deep just because it's causing trouble for Obsidian's farm. I mean, this is one of the downsides to pulling. It can interrupt the farm somewhat of your carry player if they are indeed there. And you saw him pulling that easy camp, trying to make use of it. And Obsidian is really struggling for farm right now, I think. I'm just going to check his CS right now. He's sitting on 13 and 2. That's not terrible, actually. It's okay.
He's doing alright, but Leshrac is up to 21 CS. Leshrac will probably go for those quick arcane boots. He's only 100 gold or so away from them. And once they have arcane boots, ES can just fissure whenever those arcane boots are not on cooldown, and then just get arcane right up. And a fissure, stun, edict, I mean, that could set up some kills really easily, and that tri-lane at top is going to have a lot of killing power when they get those arcane boots up.
Actually, let's mention Obsidian's build. Actually, there's a gank down at bottom. Darkseid, or Clinks rather, in some trouble. Darkseid giving pursuit. There is the vacuum. Going to bring down Clinks. Clinks again, a second den. Not looking good for this bottom lane. Meanwhile, Leshrac pushes down this top tower. So Leshrac, it is in fact, of course, carry Leshrac. Get in my backpack. Going to try and win this game for them. But I've got to mention, Obsidian Destroyer's build is 2 in the Arcane Orb and 2 in his Aura. He hasn't gone for any Banish at the moment.
Yeah, that's something not all too common. Definitely. Well, I think partly it's because of the fact he was in that tri-lane. You normally see them going for the Astral Imprison build because it is played as a either solo hero or a dual lane sort of mid hero, and the Prison is just great for beating up on pressuring those solo heroes. But against this tri-lane, that Banish is not going to do all that much because it's Tidehunter, OD lane. They're just looking to farm up. They're not looking to be aggressive, so that Banish is not going to help them out much.
Somebody's complaining the overlay is blocking the hero. I don't think it should be. They should be able to see... Let me just... Excuse me 1 second. I am just going to double check just quickly.
Yep, no problem.
Apparently is an issue.
As Tidehunter is going to run right into the Shadow Demon as well as the Storm Spirit. He's going to get taken down at mid lane probably, as he is only level 3. Storm will pick up this kill with relative ease. And ES going to come in, join up with his teammates. Queen of Pain is there, but he cannot do all that much.
My apologies, I forgot that I had frames. I have removed the frames and they have been fixed. My apologies for that. I did forget that I have manual frames attached to all of the little pictures and stuff that we put, and as well as the webcam and stuff. So I have removed them now, and you should be able to see the hero names and everything with perfect clarity. My apologies once again. Now, Obsidian Destroyer, he has picked up an early Null Tails. Do you think he's going to try and stack a few of them, or he's just going to go, you know what, just getting one? And also, I mean, there are these new items in the metagame as well. Like, I'm pretty sure Rod of Atos is available in the competitive pool, is it not now?
It is. It's been, yeah, all those new items have been available for a while, but it's one of those items which costs 3k gold, and it just, I mean, it's not that it's a bad item, it's just that there's better options. You're better off getting stuff like the Force Staff, the Mech, the Pipes, as Leshrac actually gets taken down at top. OD with that kill, that's going to help him out as he's falling further and further behind, but Draken is coming in, and he's going to actually get taken out here. A bit of a mistake from him, giving away 2 kills to the OD. Ooh, costly. I mean, HARROSH had such a great start with this mid lane, but they're kind of throwing it away at both bottom and top. The Clink's giving up a few kills, and now they just gave OD 2 kills when they'd done so well to shut down his farm with their tri lane.
Indeed, indeed. Now, meanwhile, Darkseer just pushing away here, really causing all sorts of havoc. They have already taken out this tower, and of course, Clinks was really suffering. Clinks actually going for that Ring of Aquila. And this is definitely because he is a little bit mana hungry. He does, of course, try. If he starts spamming his ult, in fact, to stay healed up, he does burn through his mana a bit. And also, if he's just spamming his strafe or something trying to fight, it is relatively mana costly. But we'll see how this goes. Meanwhile, possible, if they can land a fissure, they could drop Queen of Pain. If they can drop that fissure on top of her, but it doesn't look like it. She's being relatively defensive. B-Boy, with his Venomancer, has picked up a Haste Rune, has also got Dust on it.
Yeah, he's going to be looking to make sure that they don't get caught out by this Clinks, and if he ever does want to go gank that Clinks again, he's already used 2 Dust and managed to gank the Clinks 2 times successfully, so he's making good use of those. He's going to do some de-warding here with his Sentry Ward, and the support play has just been spot on from this Venomancer.
Gotta say, yeah, I agree, definitely. Venomancer, as well as Tide. Tide has also been providing a lot of support, really, really good support. Meanwhile, though, they have lacked a little bit support. Like, they've been supporting other lanes, putting a lot of pressure on Clinks and stuff, but meanwhile, of course, Obsidian has suffered a bit. He has been left alone. Meanwhile, there's a stun in mid. The fissure goes down. Split Earth misses by the looks of it. Went a little bit too early on that, and he is going to... Darkseer should be able to back up there safely.
Yeah, all is well there, and bottom lane, Queen of Pain coming in, bit of harass onto the Clinks. Clinks, who is trying his best to catch up, but those 3, I think it's 3 deaths. Yep, 3 deaths, and it's going to be a lot of gold lost as Queen of Pain has not, actually Queen of Pain also not farming all that well, but bottom river we do see Shadow Demon getting caught out. He's going to go down to Darkseer. Wow, Iron Shell still does damage when you're banished.
Interesting.
That was, something I didn't realize is Leshrac takes up the Venomancer with the Edict, but still being chased down. Storm goes flying in, catches Jack, Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain gets absolutely popped, and now Darkseer, Bruce Lee will pick up a kill before he goes down himself. A lot of blood's being spilled, and HARROSH managed to find themselves on top there, although the problem is OD still farming away at top lane.
Now it looks like Obsidian is going for that early mech, just to boost his survivability. Meanwhile, getting banished there by Shadow Demon has popped up there to be relatively irritating. I'm just trying to check Clinks' farm at the moment. He's still on 31 and 6 at the moment. 32 and 6, which, yeah, at the 10-minute mark is definitely relatively frustrating. I'm not so much worried about the deaths. Obviously, I mean, we've seen teams like eHome catch up from a 3 deaths and he managed to have a ridiculous amount of items at 30 minutes in. It's mostly just the pressure, and it looks like he's been under way too much pressure in the lane. He's behind on CS definitely, and those kills are definitely not going to help anything at all. Although he has picked up one of his own so far.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He is going to have some catch up to do, and that's, I mean, partly why it's just because of this Venomancer who's been so proactive in ganking. Happened in the semi-finals, and here it is happening again. Once again, B-Boy on this Venomancer, playing very, very well, as he's going to have to start defending this mid lane, putting up that Plague Ward wall, which is just going to prevent any sort of push coming out from the Radiant team, as they do want to push. They've got the maxed out Diabolic Edict. Clinks is another hero that can do a lot of damage to towers with the Searing Arrow, as well as the Strafe. And it looks like the Radiant team want to try and take this mid tower, but meeting them is going to be that Plague Ward wall.
Now, I'm just looking at builds. Everybody seems to be doing fairly stock standard build. Venomous Gale gets popped. They do manage to vacuum Leshrac, and Leshrac turns around, gets stuck in with his pulsar, but Queen of Pain with a flank attack drills them, drops both Leshrac and Shadow Demon. Now Queen of Pain in a little bit of trouble herself. Storm Spirit manning up 4v1 on 4v2 at the moment. Clink sort of skulking, doesn't really want to get involved, doesn't want to get stuck in. I think he's Windwalk's on cooldown. The fissure there from ES, gonna bring down Darkseer. The vacuum goes in, the gush as well. Queen of Pain stuck back in once again. Clink's very low, Storm Spirit very low. Echo Slam brings down down Queen of Pain. They're trying to finish Stormspirit. He goes down to the poison. Going to lose Tidehunter as well. Shadow Demon has ported back into the fight, having respawned. So they've lost... I mean, they've lost Stormspirit in the end, but he really manned their hell up there. Got stuck in, caused havoc, and they, I mean, I think HARROSH there came back on top out of that fight, even after the flank attack there.
Exactly. Well, meanwhile, Leshrac and OD actually trade kills at the top lane. Which is,
Wish we caught that.
Yeah, me too. Just after, there's a massive team fight at mid, and we're kind of like, oh, let's recap this fight. Oh, well, what just happened at top lane? But no, I mean, right there, HARROSH, they lost 2 heroes right away at the start of the fight, but Ice just overextended. They dived into the... They wanted that Stormspirit too badly. They dived in. They ended up losing Tidehunter as well as Darkseer. Darkseer with that fissure under the tower, and it was just... It could have been a 2-for-0 trade in Ice's favor, but in the end, it ended up being something like a 3-for-3 trade, which HARROSH would have been quite happy to walk away with.
Actually, it looks like OD is not going to finish that mech. He's actually picked up the Staff of Wizardry. Might be trying to finish the 4-staff earlier on, and might just finish the mech a little bit later.
4-staff is generally the go-to item on the OD. He does need the mobility to survive and do damage in fights. Helps him chase down heroes, and it is, I mean, it's pretty much a perfect item to get on OD, unless you have teammates who can help set up kills for you, which he doesn't really have that many heroes on his team with a lot of disables. It's only the Tidehunter Ravage there, so that will help him out a lot. But Radiant team, they found an opening. They're going to try and take out this mid-tier 1 tower, although the Glyph is going to stop that Edict from doing any damage, at least temporarily, and it looks like the Dire team should be able to hold this, as a gank is coming in. Smoke on 3 heroes. They're going to go into this SD. The first one they want, he banishes up, dodges the Gale, and Ice need to quickly retreat here maybe. They don't want to take too much down from the tower. They take out the Shadow Demon, and this time they've learnt their lesson. They're not going to go chasing, getting greedy for more. They will back off.
Indeed, successful gank is successful. Meanwhile, Clink farming towards his Orc at the same, just eating creep every now and then. But he has picked up 2 Sophie Masks. Looks like he's just going to pick up... I don't know if he's just going to try and finish off those Oblivion stuff since well. But the gank is coming down south. Going to try and bring him down. I think he spotted it though. I get the feeling that he knows it's coming. They must have smoked... Oh, the dust! A very, very good read there. That was fantastic. I'm not sure how they knew the hit was there. But it looks like he is going to go down. Maybe there's the Ravage being popped. Iron Shell doing a lot of damage. Clink's just getting away. Might get ticked down by poison. There is no... That is Venomous Gale. There's the Echo Slam from Urshak. A counterattack as well as a Shrek. Drilling them down. The Surge just getting Tidehunter out of there. Will there be a port to cut him off? Stormspirit also bringing down OD. The port going to try and get him out. Can they get it? No. Friendly creep blocking. Oh, actually, Urshak possibly could have dropped a fissure there, but still.
Yeah, he didn't have visions, else he probably would have thrown that fissure. Didn't want to miss it and miss the chance of getting that kill. Wanted to keep on chasing to get some vision, but in the end, once again, Ice overextending. The kill on the Clinks was not Clinks. I mean, he had the death tack, the bonus HP, which made him so tanky. Instead of having 750 HP, he goes up near 1200 HP, and they just did not have enough damage with just the Tide, the Venom, and the Darkseer. I mean, neither of those heroes has massive instant damage output. It's all sort of slows damage over time, and a hero like Clinks in the Windwalk is pretty quick.
I've got to admit, that was a really good, like a really well anticipated dust. I did not expect... I thought Clinks was home free. And then just bam, dust out of nowhere. Now the Shrek has picked up drums. This is... I see this relatively commonly on him. I don't find this too out of the ordinary. Might be delaying... He might regret this though. Maybe it'll delay his Bloodstone or whatever he's going for a little bit too much. What's your feel on that?
I think it's okay. It gives such great early game sort of... Not so much dominance, but it gives great stats. It's +9 to all stats. I mean, it costs only 1700 gold. Compare that to an ultimate orb, which costs 400 gold more, gives +10. And the drum as well gives movement speed, attack speed, a nice overall item, and it's just, as a cheap item, it's one of the most cost-effective items in the game.
Stormspirit making his run on OD here. OD actually in a fair bit of trouble. There is the Static Remnant, going to cause him damage. Stormspirit actually decided, you know what, I'm out of here. Honestly, he could have manned up before that. He had a full creep wave, hammering away on OD there. I honestly thought that could have been a kill.
Yeah, I mean, the OD ultimate wasn't going to do much damage, as Storm is also an intel hero, so I think he could have gone in, but the problem was Storm had no mana, so if he went in for that kill, he'd suddenly find himself, maybe get the kill, but then suddenly he's in no man's land, and would have gotten chased down. As you can see, Queen of Pain and Venomancer are actually looking for him in that high ground. They knew Storm had no mana, so if he went in, he could have found himself in a bit of trouble.
This is true, this is a good point indeed. Now, Tidehunter appears to just be stacking braces at this point in time, just trying to bulk up a little bit. Oh, bottom lane, possibly killed it here. The Fishy goes down, eventually hit Darkseer. Darkseer in a lot of trouble, taking a fair bit of hits there from Clinks. Has been slowed, Poison being stacked, Poison Nova being popped there by Venomancer. Clinks very low. It's being burned down by 3 different DOTs. Decides, you know what, screw this, I'm porting out. He might go down to creep, he go, oh! Terrible decision to pull out with creep hitting him. I think he would have lived if he didn't.
Yeah, well, the poison damage was maybe going to kill him, but if he'd waited to TP till it was further away from those creeps, maybe he would have lived. It was a very close. Either way, whatever he did, it was going to be very, very close, and he decided he wanted to TP as soon as possible before the poison got him down too low. But he did go down, and now Radiant team lose the Clinks once again. I mean, that hurts, but they did manage to get the kill on the Darkseer. I mean, Shadow Demon played that really well. He waited for the Darkseer to use the Surge and then use the Purge, because the Purge gets rid of the Surge. If you use the Purge right away at the start, he can then Surge himself and get away despite being slowed initially. So, smart play there, coming out from Draken, as now the Radiant team, with this Storm Spirit, need to get ganking, need to start using this heavy sort of initiation line they've got. They've got the Banish, the Leshrac, and the Storm Spirit to go in. They need to start using it to be aggressive.
Well, they've currently already built a goal. I mean, going into this late game, I mean, Super Farm Clinks, well, Farm Clinks versus Farmed OD, who do you think's got the edge there?
I think OD has a slight edge. I mean, it depends who's got the more farm. It's one of those matchups where it'll come down to what happens with the remaining heroes in actual battle. It's not going to be a 1v1 between those two heroes. It's going to be where the support's position, where the disables comes in, where the Tide can get a Ravage on a few heroes, and the other key hero to look out for, which I think is going to be the game breaker, is going to be this Storm Spirit.
Yes, indeed. He's an excellent semi-carry, though. There's the Banish. He's finally leveled up a 4-star away. Titan pops his ulti, as well as Queen of Pain also getting banished. And now Storm Spirit wading into the fight, barrel rolling in position. Venomous Gale gets popped down. I see Iron Shell doing a lot of damage. Down goes Leshrac. Urshake already down. So is Draken with his Shadow Demon. They've lost Titan in return, but hey, it's not a big deal. And now Storm Spirit out of mana, out of luck, and out of time. He's going to go down as well.
And Ultra Kill Theo, that's the power of a mid-game OD. All he has is a 4-star, but with the Arcane Orb, it's only level 2, but it just does so much damage, picks up 4, and this Dire team, with that team fight, are going to be in a pretty good position. They need to start taking some towers. They've only taken the one bottom tier 1 tower, as they are going to have this OD getting more and more farm. He may pick up that mech, or he may just try get that Sheepstick up as quick as possible. But his team could really benefit from that mech against these AoE heroes like the Leshrac and Earthshaker.
And now the mid-tier, first tier mid tower getting pushed down by the Purple is here to defend. Earthshaker, there's a hold in from Orange. Here comes Leshrac as well. They might be able to hold this if they're lucky. Surge out. Not a fairly fantastic stun there from Leshrac, but hey, what the hell? So looks like they are going to hold this indeed. Meanwhile, Clink's busy pushing his bottom lane now. He's very, very close to an Orchid, and if anything's going to shut, if anything's going to shut Obsidian down, it's going to be this Orchid. It's going to be very, very. I mean, even they could use it just throw it on Tidehunter and take him out of the fight, give him 5 seconds of not needing to worry about a Ravage, and try and burst the hell out of either Queen of Pain or, I mean, even I think Obsidian is probably the #1 threat here. Maybe Queen of Pain if they get a good vacuum off.
Yeah, OD is going to be probably the main target. Unless Queen of Pain gets completely caught out of position. Now with this Silent Stick, they can focus the Queen of Pain, but in general, it's just whoever's out of position. Storm can jump in with the Clinks. Storm has BKB, Clinks has the Silence, and I mean, they can take a hero out of the fight right off the bat, unless Tidehunter can get off a big Ravage. But they can just choose their fights wisely. They've got the mobility with their heroes. As
ES picks up a Blinker, I feel the OD is a little bit all over the show with his buys. Really, he's been holding on his headdress for a long time. He has in fact just picked up an O Club. Looks like I would assume he's trying to pick up a BKB just so he doesn't get hammered by the side, especially so he can pop it early and not get shut down by Clinks even. Meanwhile, though, it looks like he's going to jungle for now. Queen of Pain, what has she got? Looks like she's trying to build an Argus, also with the early Null Talisman. Tidehunter mostly just concealed, still with the double braces there. And we've got Venomancer doing the warding and counter warding, also with just braces and nothing particularly amusing. I'm just looking for... Well, I suppose they don't really need that many Arcane Boots this team, just because they have the benefit of OD's aura, of course, restoring tons and tons of mana if you get lucky.
Yeah, and for me, the big thing to be of note for the Dire team is this Queen of Pain is very underfarmed. 21 minutes in, Queen of Pain has next to nothing. It's under-leveled, only level 10 as a solo mid-hero, and only has that point booster. This Queen of Pain is going to be very limited in what he can do compared to the Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit is level 14, has a BKB, has treads, has 700 gold, and is going to be... it's going to be having a much bigger influence on the game and can get up those next items fairly quickly as well. So I think Radiant team is slightly better off here, but the Dire team, they do have that one big weapon, which is the OD.
Now smoke gank here from the Dire. Going to try and get into position. The Surge is going. Storm Spirit is going to need to think fast. Gets vacuumed in. Manages to barrel roll the hell out of there. Nobody gives chase. I think the fight's happening down here in the jungle. Shadow Demon vanishes himself to try and save. Echo Slam. Blink Strike there from the Earthshaker. The Courier is in danger. Courier is now trying to deliver items to the enemy team. It's just getting the hell out of there. Storm Spirit pops the BKB. Gets involved. Oh, so far we've only lost Shadow Demon. Storm Spirit very low, about half health, out of mana, needs to run now, in a bit of trouble, gets hit by Gush, she's in a lot of trouble now. Ravage as well, wow, Ravage on just Storm Spirit, alright then, brings down the Storm Spirit, whereas Leshrac was not even involved, so that fight definitely favored
that was a dreadful fight for HARROSH to be taking, as they only had 3 heroes. Leshrac was at mid, Clinkz was at bottom. Clinkz actually took down the tier 2 tower. He's going to get closer and closer to that BKB. What all HARROSH needed to do was not get caught out, and they would have found themselves taking a tower, Leshrac farming mid. If they didn't take that fight, if they just backed off, didn't get caught out, they would have been in a great trade there. But losing those heroes there, OD getting more kills, that's going to be costly.
I am surprised after they committed on Storm Spirit that Shadow Demon still managed to get caught out there. That shocked me a little bit, just because they made a gun for it. As it looks like a lot of poison being stacked there on Venomancer. Actually, no, it's only one. It's just that damage amp that's really being irritating. So he should survive that. Meanwhile, Shadow Demon just sort of chilling out over here, trying to do a bit of warding and counter warding, throwing down some more poison. In fact, the Dire also doing their own counter warding, using those plague wards. That B-boy really using them to great effect. He's been using them all of this entire tournament. He's been using them the whole time, really effectively, just throwing down the counter ward and then throwing down some plague wards to have a look around. And
Queen of Pain actually sneaks into mid lane, gets the tier 1 tower with a blink in while ES was trying to deny it. So that's going to help him catch up a bit on the gold department, but he's still falling quite far behind. As I mean, the Radiant team, they losing those fights, but the thing is, once they get that BKB up on Clinkz, Clinkz can suddenly come, join the fun, and hopefully get off some nice kills. Although OD, the Force Staff is a great item to have against a hero like Clinkz.
I'm just Otana has actually managed to finish up some power trades of his own, so he's definitely getting a bit beefy. I am just... Oh, wait, here we go. Yeah, OD also almost finishing his own BKB. He's got the Mithril Hammer. He's about 300 gold shy of the recipe, and he should be able to farm that up very soon. I just wonder, is he eventually going to finish off his macros? Is he just going to hold onto this headdress just because, well, this is Dota 2, and you need hats. You need some kind of hat in this game. I cannot wait for hats.
Goes without saying. Oh, I don't know about hats, man. I feel like that's just... We'll see, but I'm not particularly fussed myself. I don't really care what my heroes look like. I just care that they do cool things and make the game interesting and nice and strategic.
I would be mad if I can't put a power tread. If I can't have power treads as a hat for Huskar, that would piss me off to no end. Meanwhile, though, what have we got up here in the jungle? Queen of Pain still working on that Argon. About 1,500 gold away, not too far. Darkseer, did we call the fact that he's got a pipe yet? I mean, he has finished up that pipe, so that's really going to help, especially when you've got Leshrac. Oh, the fight, there is the dust being popped. Clinkz actually going mano a mano, takes down the Venomancer, says, you know what, come at me, I'll take you. Banish allowing him to dodge that Ravage. Perfect use there by Drakan. And the Status Eclipse gets dropped. Down goes Earthshaker. He popped his ult, though. It's already been used, as it looks like Leshrac doing critical damage. Down goes Tidehunter. BKB being popped by Storm Spirit. He's very low on mana, though. Definitely needs to pick up some intelligence and regen boosters. Some regeneration boosters. Oh, Banish as well as vacuum misses, but Banish stopping Leshrac's fall. We're going to lose the carry man here. And well,
yeah, that hurts. But I mean, that Banish saving the Clinkz, that was very clutch. The problem is now Dire Team going to go look to try and use his advantage to take Roche. This won't be easy. This will be quite slow, and SD can just harass from afar. Needs to make sure he doesn't get caught out. Oh, Forster, Banish, SD.
He's been a Carl. He's done a Carl. Stay in the house, Carl. No, what does Carl do? Wander around the zombie-infested woodlands and gets people killed. In this case himself, which everybody watches of Walking Dead wishes Carl got himself killed several episodes ago. But anyway, bit of a mistake. They're a little bit too ballsy, and right now, Clink's sitting around here, just chilling invisible, and for some reason his head is...
There is a sentry ward there, though, which will spot him out. And yeah, Venoman. The sentry ward expires, though. Veno doesn't have another. Tide brings some to himself, so they do have another, and they're going to put that down. Storm and Clinkz both looking to run in. The silence goes down, but they do back off.
Yeah, well, they realise 2v5 probably not going to work.
Well, yeah, probably. Just going to regroup, reset, and look to try and make a fight on fair grounds, although now with the Aegis on the Dire side, Aegis on the OD, as well as that BKB, finding that fight, which will be on level terms, or at least on maybe their terms, is not going to be easy.
Vanguard's been picked up by Darkseid. That's a relatively late Vanguards. I'm not dead sure on that, but hey, I don't know. He's decided he just wants to bulk up a bit more. Obviously, Darkseid is one of those heroes. If he gets a bit of farm, can actually cause a lot of havoc running around in the middle of a team fight with Iron Shell, causing all sorts of damage. 90 damage a second. That's actually really, really. If you consider the burn from a Radiance is already painful at 40 damage a second, 90 damage a second is huge. That is absolutely insane. So it really, really hurts. Now, meanwhile, Smoke, I believe they're all smoked up. Are they trying to push mid? Oh, sorry, trying to push top. Sorry, it looks like there is this. She's silenced. I think she must be. So why hasn't she blinked?
I think there was just a moment of hesitation where she could have blinked, but they managed to get the next stun off. And now they're going to find another one. They want this Venomancer here. Venomancer does manage to pop the ultimate. Leshrac pops the BKB. Storm goes flying in. He's popped his BKB. Ravage hits SDES. Both those heroes in trouble. ES goes down. And Leshrac managing to die as well. Shadow Demon the last, and 3 kills. 2 eyes as they want to pick up this 4th here. And it looks like they should be able to do so. Oh, no, Storm. He's going to fly out.
I don't think they'll get him just because it's Storm. Although, wait, no, Darkseid on the counter-attack has swept around. Oh, misses the vacuum. Had that landed, that would have been a big deal. As Storm Spirit is regaining. Oh, he's got a regen. I was just wondering, how the hell does he have that much mana? And it's just, he's actually got a regen rune in effect.
Dire's structures are fortified.
I was like, wasn't he empty a moment ago?
That's what I was wondering. I was like, oh, he's probably going to go down because he's only got a couple hundred mana and the Darkseid Surge, but no, pops a regen ring, flies around, and now he's ready. Good to go right back in.
Indeed. Now we've got, what have we got in here? Darkseid with 1,000 gold saved. I'm just wondering what he's going to go for next. Venomancer also sitting on mostly wards, considerable support items, the usual. Obsidian Destroyer. Now he was given the Aegis, he's camping money. I'm feeling a Hex from him. What do you reckon?
It's almost definitely going to be a Hex at this point. I'm somewhat surprised he didn't go before the BKB, but he decided he wanted the survivability of the BKB. Hex will be pretty much an essential tool to deal with both the Storm Spirit as well as the Clinks. They both have BKBs, but still Hex is a go-to item. You can try Hex before they BKB, or just wait it out and use the Hex after the BKBs wear off. As there we go, Ultimate Orb is picked up, and Clinks picks up the Queen of Pain with the help of the Silence at bottom lane.
Yeah, well, pretty much it was just an Orchid set up the kill, of course, got flanked by Earthshaker as well as Storm Spirit as well. It's just a pretty easy kill for her there. Unfortunately, Darkseid unable to assist. What is Clinks? Actually, I'm curious. GPM, or CS-wise, Clinks is currently sitting 160, 170. Obsidian, 140, so a little bit behind, but GPM, full-on GPM, what have we got here? GPM-wise, Clinks is sitting on 416, and Obsidian is 394, so not much between them. They're relatively close.
Yes, they are. I mean, I don't feel either team has a massive lead. You can see the Radiant team with a 3k gold lead, but even with that, the OD is one of those heroes which is going to start scaling better and better into the late game. Both teams, I mean, they're all picking up their BKBs. Leshrac, Clinks, Storm Spirit, that's 3 BKBs. And ES now, Blink Dagger as well. I mean, they've got all their core items up. I mean, both teams have their core items up. The only hero who is sort of missing out on farm is that Queen of Pain. And if Queen of Pain had some farm, this game would be pretty much in the balance right now. I'm
a little bothered that Leshrac kind of is suffering in the mana department at the moment, although it looks like he might be trying to get Shivas at the moment. I just saw a plate mail delivered. Yeah. But yeah, he's a little, I mean, 1,300 mana sounds like a lot, but then again, Leshrac just completely chews through that mana pool with Pulse Nova, so that's the only thing that bothers me about him at the moment, just a little bit. He has delayed somewhat any kind of, well, a second big mana pool booster in my opinion.
Yeah, often you'll see either the Bloodstone or the Aghanim Scepter just to boost up those stats. Shiva's Guard, I mean, he's deciding he wants the armor. The armor will help somewhat, but the OD, the orb, is actually pure damage, so it's not going to do all that much. Bottom lane, Clinks popping the BKB, trying to TP out. Not going to manage to do so. The right-click damage was enough to finish him off.
And that is unfortunate, because now he's wasted another charge. What is he down to? Oh, it's actually, that's his first pop, actually. I didn't realize. Yeah. Must be thinking Storm Spirit. What is he? Yeah, he's down to 7 seconds. He's actually used a fair few of them so far. Now, meanwhile, in mid lane, what have we got here? Earthshaker, of course, has had his blink for a little while. Leshrac knows 800 gold. Shadow Demon's what we're looking for. Seems to be building a mech. I think that's perfectly fine. Of course, a mech is pretty much, you want one. Almost regardless of what lineup you're playing. It's just so damn good. Now, Venomancer has picked up yet again another gem of True Sight here.
Yes, he has, and that's going to help deal with this Clinks and also give them the map control that So, I mean, so far, Shadow Demon and Venomancer have been constantly dewarding each other, battling for the map control, trying to make sure the other team doesn't have any wards up on their side, as well as their own side when they do manage to venture out. So this gem will help him a lot with the dewarding here. He doesn't have to guess with those sentry wards. As the Radiant team, ooh, they do have a couple wards up, but Venomancer not yet scouting them out.
I'm just looking at Obsidian at the moment. He's swinging for around about 100, at maximum mana, he's swinging for about 140 plus on the pure damage.
Yeah.
That is it just makes you clench your butt cheeks and just wince.
The BKBs do help because you can't ult when their heroes are BKB, but it's OD can wait it out and then you can use the sheep stick once he gets that afterwards. He's not going to die while those heroes are BKB'd unless he really gets chain disabled, because he has got that BKB and 4-stuff of his own.
Yes, he's going to be difficult to shut down. Leshrac has popped a lot of his drum charges. Most down to 1 remaining. Darkseid now trying to defend. Edict has been popped, trying to cause some damage. Vacuum gets used there. Counter attack there with the fissure. I see Foil's coming. Venomancer is here. Time to do it well. Gush goes down on Clinks. Clinks manning up. Clinks goes to tower kill. Pops his BKB and then flees. Now Earthshaker goes in. Bit of miscommunication. But no, they're diving all the way back in. Spiderlin's back in there with his Storm Spirit. Down goes Obsidian Destroyer. He's about to resurrect now. Tidehunter's down. Didn't get to pop Ravage. That is a big deal. Sounding clips, hammering Clinks. He goes down to a vacuum as well as that wall of replica. And where is Shadow Demon porting out now, and that's, I've got to say,
Red
close.
HP just in time. Queen of Pain even blinking in. They just miss out, and I mean, Clinks gets the tower. He does go down, but a 1-for-1 trade there. Radiant team, I mean, they did lose one of their carry heroes only for a Tidehunter and a tower, but that's okay for them. It's not the best trade, but that fight could have gone a whole lot worse.
Now it looks like Darkseid might be building a Hex as well. I mean, he's got an ultimate orb. I assume that's going to be turned into a Hex rather than something else, just because it's going to help them shut down. Obviously, they've got a ton of, like, the heroes that need to shut down have BKBs, but if they can just sort of kite it out or just delay a little, defend, that sort of thing, if they can then drop a barrage of Hexes, I mean, they're going to have 2 Hexes likely by the time Darkseid gets his, because of course Obsidian actually has enough now for the staff component, and he's just waiting on the ring. But Darkseid, if he can get one as well, that is really going to prove difficult, I think, for the Radiant to deal with.
Yeah, I totally agree. BKB, just because teams get BKBs does not mean, hey, don't get Hex. In some ways it means you should just, I mean, it shouldn't deter you from getting Hex. In some ways it means you should keep on getting it, because you need, if you want to smoke gank, you need the Hex to use before they BKB. If you try to use your slows, it's not going to work. So having something to completely disable them, or you can just wait for the BKBs to wear off. So it is going to help out a lot. OD only 300 gold away from his. Darkseid still a bit of a way to go, but I mean, the Dire team, they're slowly pulling away, I feel, even though they are behind on the gold graph. They've just pulled ahead on the XP graph. I mean, they're winning the recent fights. They've just behind on towers. The gold lead is purely towers, but the problem is this Radiant team, they're trying to push, but every time they go to push, they're losing a team fight.
Actually, something to note, Obsidian has actually overtaken Clinks' farm. He's sitting on 205 at the moment. Clinks is stuck on a 190-ish. I'm just bringing up the actual GDM per hero chart now, if I can find it. There we go. Clinks is 400. Obsidian is 435. So it looks like we might have a possible mid-clash here. Blue making some motions for Khan saying, let's go and mess these guys up.
Yeah, they want to go, and they know. I mean, they've got the powerful mid-game lineup. They've got the BKBs. They've got the initiation with the Storm Spirit and Clinks to back it up with damage. ES has a Blink Dagger. This, in theory, is their time to shine for their lineup. Sure, they're up against a Tide Ravage and an OD Ultimate, but they still have the stronger lineup. It hurts. It's hurting them a bit that they don't have the pipe and mech. And I think if they had heroes with those items, this would be a lot easier for them to push in.
Storm Spirit jumping up there onto the cliff, managed to snag himself a regeneration res. Earthshaker gets caught out there by 4 or 5 heroes, gets drilled, absolutely. Now, Storm Spirit on the run. I think they're making motions at Clinks. You need to get the hell out of there. Clinks actually appears to be building, I believe he's building a Crystallis going for the crits. That's what it looks like. But also, what have we got down here? Leshrac. Leshrac has actually finished his Shivas, though. I don't think it's going to be a huge influence in the team fight. It's just going to make him a little bit harder to beat down. It's just the fact that a lot of their damage, though, like you said, is pure damage from Obsidian.
Yeah, the Obsidian is, I mean, the Shivers is not going to help him all that much against the Obsidian, but it's still a useful item to get. It's another slow, it's another AoE damage. And we'll see whether or not this Radiant team, I mean, they're doing a great job of putting pressure on. They're actually going to start pressuring this mid-tier 3 tower. They're going to force a glyph, as well as a TP from the Venomancer, and one more hero TPing in. Leshrac, BKB, TP out. Not going to take any chances there. Doesn't mind wasting a BKB hero to make sure he can survive.
Just to get away success. Did force that reaction, though. I'm kind of surprised that Venomancer has managed to hold, because I mean he's relatively squishy in the grand scale of things about 36 minutes in, especially when you look at the damage potential and stuff like Clinks and Leshrac, and he hasn't dropped this gem yet. I find that relatively interesting that he's managed to hold onto it for that long, and like you said, ICE have really managed to, well, solidify their hold on this game by winning the last 15, but now, oh no, Drakan getting caught out, the slows have been stacked up, counter though with the, oh he banishes himself, but the Fissure getting thrown down there to try and save himself, and oh, one more Obsidian hit, maybe, he's probably going to go into DOTs now, as the Echo Slam gets thrown, the Hex on top of Earthshaker though, Ravage being popped, Poison getting thrown in left, right and centre, the BKBs from both teams, now Klink's actually retreating, he has finished his Crystallis, and the Shadow Demon...
ES did man up and save the Shadow Demon, unfortunately. Now we see Storm flying in. They're going to take out the Queen of Pain. Jack goes down. Stormstripe once more. He's popped the BKB, trying to get either the Stormstripe or the Tide. The Pipe, though, keeping them alive. Clinks needs to either get out or have his whole team come back him up and engage, but they're going to back off. The Darkseer wall is too much to handle, and now they're going to back off. Go for Roche, but I don't think this is the right time to Roche. They're down 2 heroes, and the Radiant team are pretty much fully healed up now.
Yeah, the Radiant team are definitely ready to get stuck in. Now, Klink's actually moving up, trying to check things out. He's just over there scouting. Did they lose? They lost. I'm pretty sure they lost him. And, oh, no, Tidehunter recovered the gem. So they have managed to salvage that at least. Now, what have we got in here? Darkseid's doing a bit of fun. In fact, what does Darkseid up to? He's almost got enough for the start control. Only about 550 gold away from that. It's getting relatively close again. Very, very close. I'm just looking. Nope, that's Crew's empty. I thought it might have something from the secret shop there. And Klink's still farming towards that Daedalus. But Shadow...
Yep.
Oh, go there.
No, Observerwood is actually at mid lane, going to spot out some of these heroes. So both teams, I mean, they've got the map control. They're just hovering around Roshan. They want to prevent either the other team from taking Roshan. And I feel like there's going to be a big fight coming up near this Roshan, as both teams want to try get map control, push out the lanes, and then try sneak that Roshan.
Indeed, there's, oh, Smoke Gangster, they're going to come through. Are they spotted up though? If they've got, no, wait, the Radiant don't have a ward up there, so they haven't, they don't, oh, actually, they're pinging. I think they know something's wrong, or is that the wait, I can never tell between yellow and that murky sort of Tidehunter's colour. It's very difficult for me to tell which is which.
Well, they'll see the Venomancer that he did plant that Plague Ward on the high ground, so I think they will know. But the problem is they need to go in soon. Stormstripe's not there yet. He's at bottom. Clinks is at top. They can't stop this. And if they go in, this is not going to end well for them. I think they just have to give up Roshan.
Yep, so they're going to have to sack that. There is the Split Earth, though. He's going to let that go. Fissure going down. Aegis and Mold being sneaked. Oh, nice force out there. Popping straight to the fray there by Obsidian Destroyer. Going to try and bring down the Shadow Demon. Looks like he gets banished, though. The Chief is already being popped. Leshrac backing up, though. Trying to bring down Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain drops her Sonic Wave on Leshrac and drops him like a hot rock. They did lose Venomancer, but hey, it's not a big deal. They took down someone way more important, though. Storm Spirit on the run here. He's got his BKB.
Clinks is at top though. Clinks has managed to take out a tier 2 tower, and he's going to keep pressuring this top lane, force some TPs back, and because these Dire heroes have to go back and defend, they can't push, they can't look to use this advantage they have to keep on getting kills, and as a result, Radiant team are going to keep this gold lead, I believe, as they are still up by about 4k gold. Klink's going to have to pop his BKB, TP out. He has done his job. He's forced the TPs back. He took down the tier 2 tower. For me, the only problem was that Leshrac engaged, even though it was a 3v5 situation at Roshan. I mean, without Storm Spirit, he was at bottom and Klink's at top. He just shouldn't have gone in. He dropped the Split Earth while they were Roshing. And I mean, that was just asking to die.
I agree, definitely. Now, I've got a few questions in the chat. Sharky Q has asked, is the final a best of 3? Yes, this is game 2 and a best of 3. Currently, ICE on the Dire side, they are up 1-0. And, yes, I'm just looking at anybody else asking questions. I'm Tony asked, what did I miss? I went to play a pub. Well, I don't know what you actually... I don't know when you left, so it's very hard to tell you what you've missed. Anyway, so yeah, it is basically HARROSH's last legs here. They need to win this. They cannot afford to make mistakes here because they must win this or they're out of... Well, I suppose technically they could enter in the next qualifier that's happening this weekend, so there is that. They could reappear there if they do lose this match.
Yeah, absolutely, and they are going to have to deal with this Obsidian Destroyer. Within Aegis now, he's going to be doing a lot of damage in these upcoming team fights. He picks up a Blink Dagger as well, just for some added mobility. Going to allow him to chase down heroes a lot easier. Heroes like that Stormstripe who may use their mana to just escape the OD. He can now blink after them and just get into much nicer positions in these fights. The Dire team, yep, they've still got that gem. It's back on the Venomancer. So they're going to be trying to use this to maybe look for a smoke gank soon, try and pick someone off, at least prevent this Clinks from... Clinks, I mean, he's doing a great job. He's counter-pushing rather than going to these team fights, because with this with this, so it's now a 6-second BKB, it's not really enough to team fight, and he doesn't have the damage to do so.
Should also make mention that Darkseer has picked up his Mystic Staff. He is very close to finishing off a second Hex, which is going to be a very big item. I think somebody else had something. Oh, that's right. Queen of Pain also has had an Argonauts for a little while. It looks like she's building a Necronomicon. She has picked up, and I mean, obviously that's going to be a fantastic item against Clinkz, helping, making sure he can't skulk around them when they fight, even if they've lost. Even if they've lost that gem. And obviously it's also just a fantastic item for pushing with as well.
Yep, and the Dire team failed gank on the Clinkz at top, and that means the Radiant team are going to force some TPs back because they're all pushing the mid lane. Dire team are going to have to TP, and hopefully Radiant team realize
can't TP. This is actually
even though Obsidian can't TP, the Dire team don't need to engage. They can just stall in their base, so they can buy OD some time to get back.
This is true, and Clinkz wasn't there either, so bit of a rough time trying to push without him. Now, there is a DD bottom. What is Shadow Demon? Shadow, no bottle there. It looks like they might just give that to Storm Spirit. Now, Storm Spirit has... Did we call out the fact he's had a Scythe of the Vise for a while?
I don't think I even realized myself. I think did he pick up that point booster recently, or has he always had that?
I think the point booster is recent. I don't recall it being around before.
Yeah. So he's finished off that Sheepstick, and that's going to give him a lot more potency in these upcoming teamfights. Maybe help take down the Obsidian Destroyer, or whoever they do want to pick off, even if it's something like... Picking off even a hero like this Darkseer could really prove useful if they can prevent that wall from going up. I
feel Queen of Pain's usefulness is beginning to wane, just because a lot of heroes have the BKBs, like Magic Immunity, stuff like that. We haven't got a pipe yet. But at the same time, her nukes are becoming less and less effective. It is 42 minutes in the game. It is very late for a nuke-based hero to be effective, and she went straight for an Argonauts. So I feel that, like, her auto-attack damage, like, it's 130. It's not relevant at this point of the game. So I think she's definitely slipping down the threat, and she didn't go for early disable either, like the Orchid or a Hex. So I definitely think that they don't need to isolate her now. It's definitely all down to kill the Obsidian Destroyer if they possibly can.
Oh yeah. This Queen of Pain has been a complete non-factor this game. And even this Necrobook, it's not going to do all that much. I mean, this late in the game, you're better off getting something like a Vlad's on a Queen of Pain, as you can get the +5 armor aura, you can get some bonus damage aura. A Necrobook, not going to do a thing this late into the game, as we're 43 minutes in. It'll just be, I mean, maybe Necrobook 3 will help for the vision, but that's going to take a long time to farm, and I just don't think this Queen of Pain is playing all that well. Top lane, they are going to go on this OD, and OD is completely alone. TP is going to come in, he is going to lose the Aegis. The backup is coming in the form of Tidehunter, but it's not going to come quick enough, maybe. No, they decide to back off. He pops the BKB, and his OD is actually going to turn around.
I think it was actually OD who initiated the fight. Almost took out Clinkz with it during the Hex, but got counter Hex on this. I mean, there's the Poison Over, Scream being used as well as Sonic Wave, and now nobody's dead. Oh wait, no, Shadow Demon has just gone down. Now there's Leshrac in the middle of an absolute AoE hellstorm there, as it looks like he does get taken out. Now Clinkz going to town on Queen of Pain, brings down Queen of Pain, but he might go down himself. The burn there from the Iron Shell being too much. I think, yes, he does go down in the end. Now, however, Storm Spirit's still up. OD, where is OD? OD is still up and running. It looks like he's actually giving chase. I thought he'd be going back to heal, but he's saying, you know what, let's go, let's go. Four Staff's in position, dropping that damage. Sandy's clip as well. Fissure, though, and the uphill miss.
He missed. Oh. Wow, Lady Luck going to the Storm Spirit, surviving. Oh my gosh, he's going to be thanking his lucky stars tonight.
What is it, 33% uphill miss?
30 or 33, it's something not all that reliable, but he lucked out there.
Oh yeah. Wow, that just... I thought he had that. I got to say, it's kind of sad. He manned up there. He was only on 300 health. He really manned up to go in for that one, and then yet just had it snatched away from him. Unlucky. Anyway, oh yeah, by the way guys, if you don't realise, make sure you check out Beyond Summit TV on Facebook, because there are keys being given away on there. Make sure you drop a comment, like the Facebook, so you can like the page, so you can drop a comment on the post there, and you may receive a key from Mr. Darcy Godot himself, Absolute Legends Godot. Now, what have we got here? Oh, I hear, no. I heard Storm Spirit doing stuff, but it was just farming. Thought he might be getting active.
Popping the ultimate to help farm, as the Darkseer is actually nearby. Bottom line, he's going to go on the illusions. The real Darkseer is nearby. Oh, Blink in, Sheepstick. ES not going to help all that much because he has popped the BKB. Now ES going to go down as well. OD looking to pick up 2 kills. The Purge is going to slow him down a bit. Oh, picks up 2. Now the Shadow Demon in trouble. 3 kills in a row coming to the OD. And that is going to be a very tough position now that HARROSH find themselves in, as OD takes out 3. Do they have buyback? And it does not look like they do.
Yeah, they've only got Clinkz, and, well, Clinkz has finished deadless. He is going to hit like a freaking truck right a bit. Now, the unfortunate thing is, well, here he goes. He's going to go, oh, that 4-star. Fantastically timed. Save
I
him.
like what HARROSH were doing the smart thing. Odie was alone at mid, and if they'd picked him up, they could have stopped this push, but they didn't do that, and now the 5-man push is going to come at bottom. Storm is still dead for 30 seconds, and that was just well played by the OD. If they picked up that kill, that would have been, I mean, that would have been the saving grace from that bad team fight that they just had.
Indeed, Gigolo there with the big plays. Looks like they're going to try and pressure this bottom tower. Now, the only one they're really going to be missing for this fight will be Storm Spirit, if they do indeed choose to push. Although Storm Spirit only 15 seconds away. I mean, he could potentially show up in time. If they stall 10 seconds now, they could stop long enough. There goes the Vision, not really doing a whole lot except annoying creep. The pipe has been popped. That's a pretty big deal. They're now Clink's moving in now. Oh, look at the Queen of Pain. Look at her health melt. The crits, 800 damage, crits almost. Queen of Pain having to retreat. Odin, look at his damage. His health is just dropping so damn fast. He is going to have to back up. And I've got to say, if they can cover Queen, so they can provide cover fire. Although, speaking of cover fire, there is the Ravage. Nobody follows up. What is happening there? OD is in a lot of trouble. Gets hexed. He's very low. It's going to go down. Maybe Sanity's eclipsed. Down he goes.
Storm went flying in on the OD. OD survived at about 20 HP, and he managed to turn around and get a kill on the Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit, he'd had that bit of luck at mid lane, and there was luck going against him as OD survived on 20 HP, got off the sheep, and then killed the Storm Spirit before he did manage to die. Oh wow, this game is really heating up.
I'm going to say, if that Storm Spirit didn't man up and do that to jump on top of OD, there would have been, like, their team would have lost that fight just because Titan went in there, went in, popped the Ravage, and then he was just standing there going, hey, where is my team? Where is everybody? Meanwhile, there is a gank commit. It looks like, is that Clinks? I think it's somebody getting shut down there. It was Leshrac being a bit of a, I'm not sure what Leshrac, but he was carling it up there, just running around, God knows where, just like, the enemy side of the map, multiple hexes, no worries, I got this. Oh shit, I'm dead. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right now, just the smallest things giving either team an advantage. They're just completely on equal terms this game. It's so back and forth as ICE find themselves up 40 kills to 31. The gold graph slowly going down, dipping, getting closer and closer to that 0 mark. As, I mean, this is 48 minutes in, around a 2k gold lead. I mean, this is absolutely nothing that is separating these two teams. Much different to the game one, which was a bit of a slippery slope as ICE completely sort of steamrolled through HARROSH.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Now, I am tight. He does have his blink. I just looked at his sad little face, blinked in there, and there's nobody. He's like, guys, where are you guys? And then just sort of died. It was a little bit sad to watch that happen. But here we go. Looks like they still got that. Is that a new gem? Or are they still carrying the same gem?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been passed around. It's seen a lot of action. And more action than actually no, we're not going to go there.
it's like a team heirloom. It's just been holding on it for so long.
But they are going to go for Roshan. This is the cheese as well as Aegis, and that will be an uncontested Roshan by the look. Oh man, no, it's not. Storm's going to go flying into the high ground, get the vision, and a pause. Has DC. He is dead though, so it isn't going to affect them too much. But they are going to have to wait and see. Things are heating up as they know they're at Roshan. Whether or not they will go for this Roshan, they do have the BKBs. OD with BKB. Tidehunter Ravage on cooldown for 14 seconds though. It might not be up in time, and that's going to be very, very sort of fight deciding factor. What is important though is that the Diet support heroes, they've got Ghost Scepters, Venomancer, Ghost Scepter, Darkseid, Ghost Scepter, as well as the Tidehunter, which is going to mean the Clinks cannot instantly take out anyone from the fight if they are quick enough to use that Ghost Scepter. But what is this Clinks doing?
I don't know. I was about to ask you, what is he? It looks like he's trying to backdoor, but he can't backdoor. But I don't know.
I don't think he has the damage to backdoor. He's actually heading towards. His arrow is pointing downwards, so I think he's considering.
Maybe
but
he
may
was trying
reconsider and go for top.
Maybe he was trying to hunt and gank up there. Maybe he's just trying to pick someone off. He does a lot of damage.
He does. I think he can take it down, but they'll have the glyph. They'll also have
maybe he's looking for someone who was like jungling and just trying to pick them off.
It's not going to be worthwhile to go for the top tower because of the backdoor protection and the glyph.
As it looks like, yeah, but I don't think he's going to get here in time. I mean, that Rosh is dropping fast because obviously Obsidian just destroying him. He's doing, I think, about 200. Is that like 200 in extra pure damage by the looks of it? And Titan just skulking around here, just being the bouncer, keeping everybody away. Smoke has been popped though. Looks like they might go for a bit. Oh, Clinks is back to. Oh, he's going for it. He's doing it. Clinks is managing to back.
They can just pop the glyph and he'll heal up. Yeah, he's maybe trying to tempt them to TP back. He wasn't actually. There was no way he was going to get that. He was maybe just hoping for one of them to TP home and stop their push a bit. But the Diet team have actually smoked. They are sitting around mid lane. Queen of Pain will reveal herself as the top lane is pushing though, so it looks like the Radiant team just want to maybe counter push this as their tier 2 mid tower is still standing though, so if they can push up this top lane quickly, they could put on some pressure, force the Dire team to reconsider this push.
Yeah, I've got to say, the Radiant team holding onto their towers for so long has been a bit of a big deal. If they hadn't had that bottom tower handy, they probably would have lost the racks during that last push attempt. I'm just going to throw that out there. As I hear the Hex, who's in trouble there? That is Stormspirit in a lot of trouble. The Ravage gets thrown. I don't think it did a whole lot there, though. Stormspirit jumping out of the fight. OD now just getting... Oh, wait, tied out a blink in. Took a shot. Didn't happen, though. Stormspirit actually porting straight back to the map. Meanwhile, there is a push. It looks like we're going to have a bit of a base race here. Although Blue is actually porting back.
Smart decision from Klinks and Leshrac. They are going to force TPs back. They'll lose a tier 2 tower, but at this point in the game, that tier 2 tower acts as just a buffer between their throne and the enemy team. The gold that it gives does not really matter. That 1.5k gold at this point in the game isn't going to be a deciding factor. So they're okay to give that up to force those TPs back. They get some map control. It has some strategic importance, even though they didn't really do any damage up top. They just wanted to buy themselves some time so they can regroup. Maybe look for a smoke gank here. This could be... They've got smoke on Shadow Demon. I think they're going to use that soon, as Klinks actually finds an invis rune at bottom lane. Not going to do all that much. Bit redundant, but there's a smoke. They popped it, but...
I don't know.
Worrying.
I'm pretty sure if you play Riki and you get a Shadow Blade, then you find an invisibility rune, and then you pop Smoker to Deceit, and then have Mirana ult, you'll become permanently invisible for the rest of the game. I'm dead sure that's how it works. And Klinks is just pretending he's going to do that. Meanwhile, though, Klinks has 4.5... What is he saving up for? 4.5k. Wow.
He's going to want to have buyback. Yeah, buyback is the main thing. And, I mean, any big item is going to cost about 4 or 5k gold, so if he buys anything, he has no buyback. He's going to wait till there's a lot of gold. Storm flies in mid. He goes on the Venomancer, gets instantly sheep, and Storm's going to go down. That's a huge loss here. OD with the BKB takes out 2. Earthshaker. Shadow Demon goes down. 3 heroes are down. And do any of them have buyback at this point? It does not look like it. Maybe the Earthshaker, but Klinks is just thinking, oh no, what just happened? He has to make something special happen, and that's going to be a counter push at bottom lane. Tidehunter's there, and Tidehunter, quick hands, quick fingers, gets the blink off, but Klinks is going to right-click away on this tower, force a glyph out, as the Dire team doesn't look like they want to come defend. They're going to let Klinks work his magic on the tower. Tide just going in, popping an Anchor Smash here or there, and we are going to see the Dire team pounding away on the tier 3 mid towers, the racks. Klinks can't defend, that's why he's just going to stay bottom, look to try and take out this tower. It is now, yep, he will get it.
I've got to say, they took B-Boy's bait there so damn hard. There was just, you saw those 3 Dire heroes just sort of skulking around behind the Venomancer. It was just like, yeah, look at me, look, I'm a tasty worm, and they just jumped on it and got wrecked.
The OD was just so quick. Instantly blink sheep stick. The Storm Spirit did not have a chance to BKB, and he died before he even came out of the sheep. It was just perfect play from Gigolo.
Yeah, I've got to give him that. And I've got to just be like, the tracking the Klinks and opposite. What are you idiots doing? Why are you trying to fight there? And it looks like now Darkseid might get taken out. Although he pops the cheese, actually, it surges out of there.
He's still going to go down though, gets the stun. Ravage, not going to do all that much as Leshrac pops the BKB. Venomancer goes down. Leshrac gets 2 actually, and they're going to take out the Storm Spirit and the Tide. He has the Aegis, but he's going to die twice. This is a big turnaround all of a sudden. Gigolo, not Gigolo, Ice, who looked like they were in complete control, suddenly give away 4 kills in a row. Leshrac gets all 4. What is going on in this game? They must have some buybacks though. Yeah, they've got buybacks.
I think they must be kicking, like, because before they're all split up, and then those 3 heroes, like everybody except Klinks on the track tried to fight, like, right deep in enemy territory. Like, it was right, and like, not that far in front of base. I think it was a really bad decision there, but I think they'd probably be kicking themselves now, realizing, holy crap, we're winning these team fights. We can drill this down, because they're finally together. Like, Klinks is finally with the team, not pushing another lane. Leshrac, like, everybody was there for a change, rather than being off pushing different lanes. So I think they're probably kicking themselves, having lost that mid-racks already, also losing the bottom outer tower there as well, the bottom base tower there as well. I think they'd really be kicking themselves for having made that mistake of splitting up.
And the buyback's going to come. Darkseid has buyback as well if they need, and he's going to do this. So they're just going to play it safe, buyback as well. And I think Radiant team are just going to decide not to push now. They force the buyback. The buyback's going to be on cooldown for, I think it's 6 minutes or 5 minutes.
5 or 6, yeah.
And yeah, it's either 5 or 6. I always get some of these numbers mixed up. I think it's a glyph that's 6 minutes and buyback is 5 minutes maybe. But either way, it's going to be on cooldown. It's also a big chunk of gold that they do have to use. OD as well as Darkseid now. And now this is going to go into a bit of a stalemate. Dire team, they don't want to push because pushing is a big risk. They don't have the Aegis, they don't have the cheese, and they don't have buyback. So they're going to spend the next 5 minutes farming up buyback, waiting for the buyback to come off cooldown. while the Radiant team have to use this 5 minutes to look for a smoke gank and try use that to maybe find an opening to take down this bottom Rax, which is completely vulnerable, or even take out another lane as well.
We should also mention the Dire, as they swept through taking that tower, they did plant a fantastic ward there. Inside the Radiant base, spotting up all sorts of stuff, giving them excellent intel, especially when the Radiant are trying to defend. Although oh no, that's just farming crap. I heard all of those spells go off and been like, holy crap, something must be going on. But it was just farming. EVE.
Oh, and the Dire team, they are heading down towards the bottom lane. I didn't really expect them to push it, but it looks like they might. Their BKBs, I mean, like OD, only a 5-second BKB. It is quite a risky move, but they have got their lanes pushed out, so they don't have to worry about anything like top lane pushing into their base. And they are maybe just going to back off a little bit, look for a team fight to go in their favor before trying to push on in.
Queen of Pain has got a level 3 Necro, and I noticed Boots of Travel on Outlaw Destroyer. Obsidian Destroyer, before I say that again. Obsidian Destroyer, I don't think we called that before, did we? He's got Boots of Travel now.
Ooh, and look what the Dire team, look where they're positioned. They saw the Radiant team smoke in their base with that Observer Ward, so they are staying together as 5, hoping that they... they actually, the Necrobook reveals them. I think that Necrobook actually is going to help the Radiant team, because if it wasn't for that Necrobook, they could have ran straight into the Dire team into a terrible fight.
Indeed, indeed. And apparently the Necrobook didn't knock off, apparently hero proximity only, but no, never mind, it looks like, there we go, they're going to try and jump in here. There's the Venomous Gale, Stormspirit jumping straight into the BKBs left, right, and center. Ravage gets popped, Sonic Wave goes in, Stormspirit jumping all over that fight. I'm trying to find Obsidian Destroyer, I've lost track there, he's very low.
Banishes himself just before the last hit comes in. He's going to die anyways. Leshrac picking up the kill, but Blinks as well as Shadow Demon both go down, and meanwhile,
this Stormspirit doing massive work.
Stormspirit surviving as well. He finds a regen rune.
Oh!
He gets down to red HP, no mana, and finds a regen rune. Wait, Odie's still alive? Did I miss something? He lived. No, he blinked out or something.
Surely not.
We completely missed it. He actually survived because he doesn't have buyback.
He must have shift Q to blink as he banished him. Like after he banished him, he must shift Q to blink, so he would have blinked immediately. So that makes sense. It's just like Puck's phase shift, I guess.
Yeah, but because I was watching in that fight, and Storm Spirit flew in when he was on 20 HP. The attack animation was mid-air as he banished himself, saving himself, and then the blink out. I thought Leshrac, the AoE from Leshrac killed him, but he blinked out. That is a huge pivotal point. If they'd killed that OD, I mean, the Radiant would have had a bit of an opening back into this game. They could have, with Scrappily, found... Oh, man, this is just crazy, this game.
I've got to say, they've got a 40-second window to cause all sorts of havoc. Then again, Venomancer is down, but I mean, Clinks is going to be dead for 40 seconds, and he's... Oh, wow, he's got a butterfly. When did he get that? He has a butterfly now. He's really looking mean.
I mean, he still gets taken out of these fights. All these heroes, their BKBs are down to 5 seconds. I'm actually surprised none of these heroes have sold their BKB and bought a new one. I mean, you can sell it for 2k gold, you can buy a new one for 4k, so it's only a 2k gold investment to get a 10-second BKB. It can be worth it, especially on heroes like this OD, the Storm Spirit, these key heroes who need to stay alive as long as possible. I mean, most of the damage from that OD is going to be damage that can be prevented by a BKB, not to mention those sheep sticks. You want to have as long a BKB as possible. They should be rebuying these BKBs, I feel.
You're going to get rid of spam bots in the chat. But yes, definitely, I agree. Like, both the Storm Spirit and the Obsidian could afford, like you said, could afford their rebuy. And this is something we do see, but yeah, I guess both teams decided, you know what, let's not bother with it at the moment. Now, Tidehunter, what has he got? Oh, well, he's actually saving, I suppose he's just saving up. He's got 2.3k there, not really sure whether he wants to buy back. And of course, because if he goes down and then comes back, on the defense, if he goes down suddenly, if he can get back in there with a Ravage, if he goes down before managing to pop out, buyback would not hurt. Just as a safety net.
But at this point, for Tidehunter, with 2k gold, not much you can buy is actually going to benefit your team all that much. I mean, maybe you could slowly... the item mentioned earlier was you get a Vlad's, the +5 armor. I mean, it's something you don't really notice, but it does help out a little bit. Every little bit can help against a hero like Clinks, which is doing a lot of physical damage at this point. I mean, I'm just wondering what is going to come next. This game is just... This is crazy, man.
It is nuts. And I mean, if the games are this good already, I cannot wait for the full-on tournament itself. It's going to be absolutely batshit insane. I kid you not.
Yeah, and this is just the qualifier. Yeah, qualifier number 1. I mean, qualifier number 2 is this Saturday. So for those of you who want to compete, sign up. It's over on the forums at thegigabytedodamasters.com. As I feel like this has been an anticlimax. We're just getting there, 57 minutes in. huge stuff going down, and here we have a bit of a pause as both teams, some disconnections as well as
Gigolo needs to
breaks.
go to the toilet. Okay. Also, guys, if you want a beta key, we well, the Beyond Summit channel is giving away beta keys. You find the Beyond Summit TV, or Beyond the Summit, sorry, Beyond the Summit TV on Facebook. I will post a link again in the channel. I keep trying to call this channel Dotacast. It's not Dotacast. Yeah, I will post a link in there, and there are keys being given away if you just follow the instructions on that Facebook page.
Someone in chat is saying, tell them to wait for me to get my food as well. That's probably one of the funniest comments I've ever seen in chat. The team's saying, oh, I gotta go to the toilet, I gotta go get some food, and when someone in chat saying, oh, wait for me.
Wait for me too. So just find the face Beyond Summit. Come back here. There we go. Okay.
One is reconnected.
Fantastic.
We need Bruce Lee, the Darks here.
Cannot go anywhere without Bruce Lee. Actually, what's the kill board at the moment? Alright, so we're 15 and 10 for Leshrac. He's definitely the big hitter, of course. Get in my backpack, Leshrac. Meanwhile, Obsidian just... Oh my god, 19 and 4. Of course, doesn't have the assist value. Then again, when does Obsidian get that many assists? Not usually, because he's busy stealing all the goddamn last hits with his insane amount of damage with his orb. I have to say that time. Oh, Bruce Lee, he's really been working hard. Actually, he's got 22 assists there.
Well, and the thing that the Radiant seem to have going for them is that they've got the Clinks, which is physical damage, and I mean, when all these heroes pop these BKBs in the team fights, Clint is the one hero that can still do a lot of damage. The OD can't really take out heroes all that quickly. When they pop the BKB, he can't use his sheep stick, and he can't also do the bonus damage with that arcane orb. So, I mean, maybe if this Clinks can stay alive long enough in this fight, I mean, he can maybe take down some heroes, but the 5-second BKB is really limiting that. The one thing I'm wondering is, are we going to see, if this game goes long enough, we may see even Clinks picking up a Divine Rapier.
Oh my god, that would be nuts. That would be absolutely insane. I mean, I guess he'd just drop his portal scroll for it and just try and put that in there. But, I mean, do you honestly think, I mean, one of the things I say is, you know, fastest way to throw a game, Rapier. Fastest way to throw a game is to get a Rapier. Do you think they can hold on to it?
It's one of those things at 60 minutes into the game where it's an investment worth getting when you're behind. Sometimes you're in a position where you're slowly getting further and further behind, which it kind of feels like the Radiant team are in. They're managing to hold. They're getting some good team fights, but if they can get a Rapier on this Clint, if he can stay alive, it could pay off. But he's got, I mean, I don't think that's going to come in the near future. He's only at 1,600 gold. His priority right now is to have buyback, as well as maybe get a 10-second BKB. Although, I mean, it's one of those things that I'm just surprised more players don't do. None of these players are even considering it. It's something I think pro players should maybe considering doing more in these long 60+ minute games.
I think you should just smack AL and make them lead the way on this Divine Rapier build. I expect Bleak to come out of the forest with 6 Divine Rapiers, nothing short of it.
The number of times whenever Bleak plays Mirana, it seems like there's always a Divine Rapier. It's just like a novelty thing for him. It's like as soon as they get a slight lead, Bleak's like, oh guys, we gotta go get Roshan, and everyone's like, oh, you want Divine Rapier, don't you? They just know. It's kind of like Musica when we're drafting. Musica will say something like, "Oh, I think we need more burst damage," and in his head he's thinking, "Pick me Queen of Pain, please." It's just these subtle hints where he won't directly say it, just like Bleak won't directly say, "I'm going Divine Rapier," but.
Oh no! Oh god, no! Please don't tell me we can't get him back into this.
Well, he can hopefully reconnect again. It seems like there may be computer problems.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just thinking back to yesterday when we had our final game go out on a really sour note.
Yeah, it was. Luckily, the teams weren't too upset over that. But
I'm just hoping he doesn't because I mean this has been an epic game and it really could go either way still. So I really would not like to just because I mean we don't I mean to get the whole reloading mid game thing. I have not seen it happen yet without a Valve member being involved.
The feature is not there in the menu when you load games anymore. It used to be, but it's not longer. I'm not sure if it's something they're going to re-implement. I know before when they had it in there, it only sometimes worked. For example, in the first Star Ladder tournament in Kiev, not the one that's on tonight, I think. There's some games on tonight for that. The first one, it was Na'Vi versus someone, and it was like epic 70 minutes into the game, and the game crashed, and they couldn't reload it.
Oh, that would suck so bad.
Whereas before then, but then like 3 hours later, Valve rings up, says, "Oh, we found a save. Here you go, guys," and they could reload it like 3 hours later or something. It was quite funny. And then it's one of those things where it's 3 hours later, and you're suddenly rejoining a game, and it's like, what's going on? I kind of forget where we are. Oh, good, we're good to go.
Yes! Oh, thank Christ. Thank you,
and
gaming gods.
Speaking of forgetting where we are, we've been paused for like 10 minutes now.
Oh, wow. It's
I've
gonna
sort
be...
of, yeah, lost any sort of casting momentum that we may have had. But this game is still just Roshan, or pings on Roshan. That's going to be the next deciding factor. Aegis and Cheese. I mean, the Dire team with the Rax advantage, they're going to have the lanes more pushed out. They're going to have the map control, and I think they'll be able to get Roshan pretty much uncontested when it does respawn.
Does sound about right to me. Now, the rating actually not doing OSG. I guess they probably water rush at some point, but of course the Dire have been carrying anti-invis tech the entire game. Of course, passing around this gem of true sight the entire time. Like, it's the most precious thing they've ever owned, but they've just really been working with them. So it's been helping them solidify their map control, because they've been counterboarding left, right, and center. Meanwhile, Leshrac just trying to hold off this mid push here from the creep. And Dark, oh wait, Ice Boy has found himself, B-Boy has found himself an invisibility rune. Now,
yes.
what they used to set something up.
At this point in the game, it's not going to do much, although the Radiant team, they probably don't really have any detection, as there's no invis heroes on the Dire team, and they're not really spending that much time de-warding. They do have one sentry as the game now. They are going to run right into this Tidehunter. Maybe the Venomancer wards will scout out the Clinks, and they do need to be a bit careful here, as, ooh, Clinks scouting out Roche.
Roche is not back up yet, but so I don't know. I didn't check that. Oh, I should have written it down when Roche was killed last time.
The problem is here for HARROSH is that the Dire team with these Venomancer Plague Wards have such great map control. They see everything coming at them, and the Radiant team are playing blind. They're guessing. Like that just then, they ran to Roshan, completely guessing. They don't know where the Dire team are, although actually no, now it looks like they do. The pings are going off, as they did spot them with their Observer Ward. And Dire team, they're heading bottom. Radiant team are either going to have to TP back or commit to this mid push. It looks like they will back off.
It does. Oh, actually, well, Leshrac is hanging around at the moment. Just, although it looks like, wow, actually they need to get back ASAP, because there is definitely a threat on this bottom rack. There we go, the ports are coming in. Question is, will they all be fast? If the mass ports coming, Shadow Demon trying to hold this up. Dire not pushing as quick as I thought.
Oh, OD blinks in, goes on Jacket. Shadow Demon will drop, but that's only a Shadow Demon support. Clink spots a BKB, trying to take out the OD, but not enough damage. Storm's flying in. OD in trouble, will get taken out. That is going to be huge, as HARROSH looking to charge forward. OD buys back, but he can't TP into the fight. Oh, he does. He buys the boots of travel. He's back in the fight. He's doing a lot of damage. He gets banished, though, and Leshrac in the middle gets a Tide Ravage. ES goes down. OD is back. Pops the ultimate with the Queen of Pain ultimate. 4 heroes are down, and now a team wipe as Clinks buys back. Storm buys back. GG is called by the Dire team, but they're all back. That is right. No fucking GG. What do you know? Storm jumps on the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain will go down. And the Dire team
OMG!
HP.
OMG!
Up as well. They
call OMG, the Dire team call OMG, and I've got to say, yeah, that was a great buy. Like, he's had those boots of travel for like, I think like the last 5 minutes or so, but that was definitely a smart buy. And like, it just allowed him to buy back and immediately be straight back into the fight. Because otherwise, without that buyback, I think the Radiant would have won comfortably, just because of that great play from Stormspirit, getting in there just as the BKB was falling off, and then getting that Hex down on top of OD, allowing them to pick him off. Oh, PC auto restart.
Oh, well, that's going to be another 10-minute pause here by the looks of things.
Oh, the cafe. The cafe must have shut down and said, you're out of time. Get out of here.
Hopefully, he should still be able to reconnect, as it's all saved on the Steam servers. So it's one of those things. Even if you could even change computers and still reconnect to the game from a different computer.
I know. Actually, we tried to do some jimmying with the HON reconnect, just trying to get someone into the game and then sign them out, and then sign in from a different PC by passing around some of the config files. And that sort of works. Sometimes it sometimes it's a bit dodgy.
Okay.
We got down here. Yes, that was
hopefully we don't have any problems with him reconnecting.
As Stormspirit calls that, lousy CC. Do you mean PC, or is he talking about control?
CC is computer cafe.
Oh, okay. Oh, lousy cashier.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Over the next month or two, you'll be learning a lot of Asian slang as well as abbreviations. And Leshrac also DCing. This is something which I probably expect to see a bit of with some of these low-end computers. But so far, no problems. I mean, that's the beauty of Dota 2 is that you can reconnect in. And I mean,
of course, that was the bane of vanilla Dota. Somebody leaves, and then, well, this sucks. What do we do now? Everybody has to abandon ship. I mean, I suppose we did have the swap function back then.
Yeah. Right now, looking at the gold graph, 3K gold lead for the Dire team, and when it's both teams are actually approaching the 100K gold mark for their team, so 3K is next to nothing in terms of a lead at this point. There's nothing separating these teams. It's all going to come down to positioning, strategy, who gets Roshan and Aegis, who wins these team fights, whether or not the BKBs go before the Sheepstick. It's going to be a bit of a sort of initiation war. Storm is going to try and jump in on the OD, sheep him before he can BKB. Much the same, OD is going to want to blink in, sheep someone, kill them, whether it's the Clinks or the Storm, before they can actually BKB.
Yes, I just noticed the chat light up with lols as they heard the GG. No GG!
It was a no manners GG indeed. You don't call GG for your opponents. Well, they killed all, in fairness, they did kill all 5 heroes, but immediately 3 of them brought back. And it's one of those things that 60 minutes in, well, pretty much every hero before a team fight is going to have buyback, unless they did have to buy an item desperately to make that team fight competitive.
Indeed. You know, Clinks has sold, well, actually, I don't know if it's sold, but he's opened up another slot here. The question is he going to try it? Well, he can't fill it at the moment, obviously, having just bought back. But I honestly feel that fight, the Radiant, they hammered that fight back there. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it was a bad fight for them, but they knew they had those buybacks to fall back on, and they just had to fight outside of base or they would have lost racks. Look, I mean, their melee barracks now is sitting on 250 HP. They would have lost that if they didn't jump in like they did, and those buybacks proving to be worth, I mean, that's what you pay for. And the problem is now, this next 5 minutes, they're not going to have those buybacks. They're going to maybe look for a pick-off while the Queen of Pain as well as Venomancer are dead. Neither of those heroes have well, actually, no, Venomancer has buyback. He's only level 18, so that buyback is not too expensive. But I mean, Venomancer is not going to do much with a buyback. Even if there's going to be a fight at Roshan, Venomancer buyback, it's kind of one of those things. What's the point? The only thing Venomancer... At this point, though, Venomancer is proving to be very useful because of those Plague Wards, giving the Dire team great map control, as like we saw earlier. When the Dire team went to push that bottom lane, and the Radiant team was sort of coming through the jungle, the Plague Wards spotted their every movement. It's a great skill to have even late in the game. Even though this Venomancer can't do any damage in a team fight, he's providing them with great vision, kind of like the Malk Venomancer. Went 0 kills, 21 deaths. But the vision and map control you get from a hero like Venomancer is, I mean, there's nothing like it in a late game scenario.
I remember the outcry in Heroes of North when they nerfed the hell out of the ward vision, dropped it down to like 300 units. It was pathetic, did nothing. It was very, very frustrating.
It's one of those things. He's not actually that strong of a hero. It's one of those things that make him such a great hero. I mean, the Venomous Gale is kind of nice early game. It doesn't do that much damage, but it just does a bit of damage, a bit of slow. The ultimate, I mean, it's a good ultimate, but it's not really that strong. It doesn't have any disable. It's not burst damage, so he's not actually that strong a hero. He is nice as a support hero, and I mean, the Plague Ward is what makes him a great hero in my eyes.
Yeah, he definitely tails up towards, like, even with, they don't even have a pipe on the Radiant side. I mean, already his ult's not doing a fantastic amount. I just noticed Shadow Demon did get a mech at some point. I actually didn't notice him pick that up. Didn't realize he had one.
Yeah, that was something he bought very late into the game. I mean, when I say late, I mean maybe like 10 minutes ago, but it's one of those things. He's been warding, de-warding the entire game, and it's an uphill battle because this Venomancer has a gem. Actually, I don't know where this gem is now. It's been destroyed maybe, so Clinks is going to have a bit of room here. The Dire team, I mean, I imagine they'll just rebuy this gem. If you do not want to lose a game at 60 minutes because you don't have vision of a hero like Clinks, so you'll just rebuy that gem.
Of course, they do have the Necro Book. There is that still, so they can't afford the gem in a rush. They will have that to fall back on. But of course, the gem would be a better option. The question is, who are they going to have to carry? I mean, Tidehunter now would almost be a good choice to carry.
Gem is on cooldown, I believe. If you go to the Dire shop, it says restock in 2 minutes 45 seconds. So they may just have to get some Sentry Wards, rely on. Actually, I'm not sure which team. It says restock 2 minutes 45.
Well, I don't recall the Radiant team ever buying a gem, so...
Yeah, I agree. So I don't know if that's... I mean, maybe because we're observers, maybe that's wrong, but if it is on cooldown, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt the Dire team, because Sentry Wards, you have to buy so many of them to cover the map. Dust, you never know when Clinks is going to pop up, so the gem is always the best way to go.
Actually,
and
speaking of
not having one
buyback money,
could be-
Darkseer, level 25, he's maxed out, and he's sitting on 4.4k. I didn't realize he had that much cash. He's really Mr.
Well-
Moneybags at the moment.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he could even pick up something like an Ethereal Blade to use on that Clinks if he wants to help out his team a bit.
Yeah, I mean, even something like an Orchid, just the extra silence would help shut down some... Even the damage amp even would help them out a ton. Because, I mean, if they can get in there, drop an Orchid on something, like, especially if they can do it before the BKB. Obviously, if Obsidian goes in first, gets the Hex in, and then he can follow up, drop the Orchid, because I'm pretty sure Orchid disables items, doesn't it?
Orchid, no, Orchid does not. It's just a
maybe
silence.
I'm thinking of a Hon thing. Crap.
Yeah, only Sheep, the Ginsu, well, not, I don't think it's even called, Sign of Vice stops items from being used. Oh, as well as any sort of stun, but yeah, the silence alone, you can still use items.
I'm thinking of Doombringer's ult. There we go. I'm mixing. It works. It actually does work like that on Hon, and I'm getting it. Yeah, and Doombringer. I was just thinking, yes, it's a super silence, so it must work like Doombringer's silence, but no, it does not. Put in my place. So, well, I guess Bruce Lee is Bruce Lee. Oh wait, no, Bruce Lee's still stuck out. Okay. As the Shrek said, call me Rock Lee. Apparently, someone's been watching. Someone's a bit of a Narutard. I don't like Naruto, if you can guess from that. Watching terrible. Oh wow, the chat is really, the chat has really degenerated. Someone asked, are there any crack addicts in the house? Somebody calling another person stoneheads. And
did you see the Russian?
I have seen the Russian. Yes, you cannot miss that Russian.
I'm just gonna let it go, man. It's that point. It's gotten to that point. This game is absolutely crazy, and I'm sure I can understand.
Bruce Lee can. I'm sure we'll get Bruce Lee. I mean, you cannot stop Bruce Lee. How do you stop Bruce Lee?
That's the thing. Yeah, definitely, all my tangos are on Bruce Lee here.
Speaking of which, I'm going to put all my tangos on AL again. You better not make me lose them again. I'd be very frustrated.
I don't know if I've told this story to you, but I do not bet on any AL matches. There was a streak where I bet on 2 or 3 matches in a row. We lost all 3 of them, so I refused to bet. I'm not a superstitious man, but that was just freaky. One was against like Na'Vi, one was against Mouse, and the third one was against a relatively unknown team, which was when I said, okay, I'm done. I'm never betting on AL again on Go-To Gamers. So I'm not a superstitious man. I did twice, and then when it happened again, and that was it. I haven't bet on an Absolute Legends match in about 2 or 3 months now.
Fair enough then. I will continue betting though, just to show my love and support. Meanwhile though, Bruce Lee is finally back, surging out of the fountain, ready to rock and roll. What's he getting? Oh, Rosh is up. Okay, so like you said, big deciding factor here. The Radiant are aware that he's up. They're missing Earthshaker, but hey, not as a big a deal, especially not down at the Rosh pit, not as a big a deal, because they don't have things to bounce it off. Obviously, huge creep. Look at Clinks go! He's just shredding Roshan right now, and the Dire, where are they? Where's their counter?
It's being pinged, but they're not going to be here in time. OD is nowhere to be seen,
and that's what the
Radiant team needed. There we go, drops the TP, picks up the cheese. Radiant team now are back in this game. They are down that middle racks, but if this is anyone's game. These next few team fights is going to decide it. Who has buybacks, who doesn't. The Radiant team with Aegis and Cheese have an advantage from the get-go. Tied no Ravage for 60 seconds as well.
Obsidian has buyback money, so although he might still be on cooldown, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think we can actually check that.
We need a timer somewhere on the hero so we can actually check cooldowns. That would actually... Valve, if you're listening, please, timers on buyback cooldowns and stuff would be awesome. Yeah.
And the Dire team do head towards bottom. They've got Sentry Wards now, Venomancer with 4 of those. That's because they can't get that gem. Okay. And I mean, he's going to use all of those, pretty much use all 4 of those to get complete vision around their push here, if they do decide to push. But I don't think pushing's the smart decision here. They're pushing into the Radiant base where they have Aegis.
My heroes have stopped moving.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Okay, are we here? We're here. Okay, we're here. We're still here. Thank Christ. Okay.
They're pushing into the Radiant base where they have Cheese and Aegis, and even if they do kill heroes, they can instantly buy back and then come right back into the fight. They're not that far away. Dire team will get spotted at bottom lane. They're going to react. They're going to go see what this.
I will throw this out there. Neither Clinks nor Leshrac can react to a push because they're a long-range push, just because they're missing those TVs currently, obviously with the Roshan items. Now here goes Tyner, they're going to go in there, going to pop the Rosh. No, he gets hacked. There is the ultimate for Putty Man. Doesn't do a whole lot. Top is now down. The Clinks happy to respawn. Wow, he got destroyed there. Maybe that did more than I thought. Venomancer barely getting away. He's probably getting snapped by that poison. I'm just losing track. Klink's now causing... No, Klink's actually trying to chase after OD, trying to bring the OD, puts the silence on him. Where are the crits? Waiting for the crits. No crits. Oh, it's unfortunate. Titan are popping the Ravage. Klink's getting pinned down there, getting hit by that Shadow Strike. The Shrek moving. Echo Slam. As it looks like Klink's has been taken out. Has he got enough for a buyback? No, he does not. OD has banished himself. Will he click you a blink? I'm just waiting to see. Will he get out of there? I think he got out.
He blinks to the right. Storm is looking. He's gonna go down. Does he have TP? Yes,
can't.
he does.
No, he doesn't. He can't. He's got no room for one.
He's gonna find his way out. No, he's got the boost of travel, but he thought his way out. He got a kill. He had the boost of travel, but he decides, okay, I'm just gonna take this free kill. And 4 heroes go down. Klink's there. He ran in. He got seen by the Necrobook 3, so even though he was invis, they knew where he was. He got jumped, instantly lost the Aegis, and that Aegis didn't really do anything at all. And then, even when he came back,
okay, well,
team now.
I'm going to say, yeah. The Shrek can buy back. Storm Spirit can't. And obviously, Earthshaker as a support hero going to be pretty troublesome for him to get back in here. So it does look like a second Rax coming up because the Rax already buried weak, lost the tower. I'm going to have to hand it ice. They played a magnificent game at HARROSH. They did never give up, never surrender.
I don't know if this game is over. They will get this Rax, but it's going to be 4 Rax advantage. I think they're not going to have enough damage to take out the throne here. They may try to get a top tier 3 tower, or they'll get both these middle towers defending the throne, which will give them some nice gold. But,
actually, I suppose Obsidian is dead, and he can't. Apparently, he can't buy back, or he would have, I think.
Yeah, I think it's on cooldown. As he said, otherwise he would. He's got the boost of travel. He could TP right back in. And they are going to pop the glyphs, slow down this push. They need to just try and stall. ES is going to... They're going to lose the tower here.
Oh, it's close. As another banish goes through. They are trying to hold this off. This tower, this Rack's very close. Klink's is back. I'm going to need to speed back into position. Banish getting thrown in again. And I think they're just going to steal up the rest. Can they get the second Rack to Mega Creep? So the melee cracks is down. Sonic Wave being used there. It looks like they're not going to get this Rax. The Mega Creeps are going to be held off, but at the same time, it is looking very sketchy as Venomancer just hits some panic buttons and then runs away. He's probably going to die here in a few seconds. There's not much he can do. Oh no, he's going to escape even. Storm, nope, Storm Spirit roadkill. Just drives right over him.
Their throne does take a bit of damage, and OD is now back. He's got the boost of travel. He can TP in, but I think the Dire team now, with that fight, with 5 Racks lead, this is where it's now become their game to lose. It was completely in the balance. Now with this 5 Racks advantage, Radiant team know they're in a lot of trouble. They're going to have to deal with pushes coming from all 3 lanes. They're going to have, that's it. They're drawing lines, go mid, all in. This is it. We've got to somehow make something happen. One hero will probably be left back to defend because the throne is completely naked. Someone has to push out that bottom lane, which is going to be the Shadow Demon, as the Storm Spirit, the Lashrak, the Klinks head towards mid lane. The problem is, there's everyone, the Dire team, alive except the Venomancer. Venomancer can actually buy back if he really wants, and they do all have their BKBs, their ultimates. This is not a fight that I can see the Radiant team winning.
This is just like how I play poker, with a smug look on my face, regardless of the cards, all in.
Radiance on Darkseer.
What? Oh wow.
Why the hell not?
I mean, he does a lot of burn damage, just a little bit late in the game. Oh, Tide Hunter pops his ult. Queen of Pain also. Obsidian Destroyer destroying poor old Stormsbro. Echo Slam not doing as much as I'd like, although actually no, I take that back. Obsidian Destroyer is down and out for the count, as the Shrek also very low. They're making a good run of it, but BKB being popped there by Queen of Pain, and Tidehunter now actually somehow surviving that fight. I thought he died there. And Earthshaker gonna get taken out here.
Yep, so OD immediately buying back. This is going to be them ending the game here, I feel. Leshrak buys back, but now with Clint as well as Earthshaker dead, neither hero can buy back. The throne is naked. They can either go for this top rack, they can go for throne. This is going to be GG now, as I expect. The Radiant team are just slightly hoping, thinking, oh, we've fought so hard, it's 66 minutes. Surely there's something we can still do to maybe make this game go longer, to maybe make a comeback, but at this point there is just nothing they can do. Leshrak will get caught out, and that is going to be all she wrote, as they will get this top racks, get this throne, and
like we said before, you know, play to the last breath and hope. Or not, they've called GG and Tom actually calling GG. There we go, okay. So I was going to say play for the last breath and hope for a DC or a remake or something. But anyway, it looks like we're going to lose Storms. Oh no, he dives back in there. But yeah, guys, you've been watching the first qualifying finals for the Gigabyte Master Tournament. Of course, ICE have earned themselves a spot amongst the big boys, amongst the big hitters. So this is going to be interesting to see how they stack up in Group C. And of course, we've got one more qualifying tournament to come up. But of course, to take away nothing from HARROSH, they put up a spectacular fight and really gave us a crazy game. So shout out to them for doing such a great job. But God, it's been a pleasure to cast with you, and I guess we're back tomorrow, or well, the weekend, with some more casts.
Yeah, we'll be back on Saturday afternoon from about 2 p.m. Singapore time, and that was about as better way than anything to end the day's qualifier, as ICE are the first team to qualify. They're going to go into Group C, and that is going to be all the action from the group stage unraveling next week here in the Gigabyte Dota 2 Masters, sponsored by Twitch TV and Gigabyte. And to everyone tuning in, be sure to go follow Beyond the Summit TV on Facebook. You can find we are doing a beta key giveaway there for people following the tournament, which will be announced probably in later on tonight when I do get home, unless Darcy will do all that. But we'll be sure to follow us. There'll be plenty more action here as the top Asian teams are all competing for their share. Thanks, man, for joining me. Well, thanks, I should say, for letting me join you.
I don't know. I'm glad to be here, guys, because of course, normally I cast over at Dotacast.com, but I'm pretty happy to be casting such an awesome tournament. So anyway, better go and upload these VODs. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next week.
Yep, good night.